Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody, and welcome back. We've got Gumiho in the top left side of the map playing in the grand finals of HomeStory Comp, and he is representing Cloud9 up against ShowTime for Big Esports in the bottom right. It's a PVT, and this is a finals that everyone's been raving about. I have had people flooding my inbox, spamming my Twitch chat saying, Pig, have you seen the game? Did you see the finals of HomeStory Cup? If not, you have to cast it. And I actually was kind of live streaming at the time this was on. I'd started my stream not realizing that the finals and the whole final day, of course, was running very late, as HomeStory Cup always does. And I tabbed over a few times and went, oh my lord, these games look exciting. And I had to just go, you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm just going to save it. I want to be surprised. I do know the end result. I know who ended up winning. But I have no idea what happened in the actual game. So ShowTime in the bottom right. He's a defensive wall of a Protoss player. Gumiho in the top left side. He is a... I mean, I tell you guys all the time. I've played against him a bunch with Protoss in the weekly cups. It's not fun. It's not fun. Playing Protoss versus a guy like Gumiho, he's got so many weird, tricky timings. And it's awkward to play against him because he hits the weirdest attacks that no one else hits. That being said, I kind of think ShowTime's a pretty good match for him because ShowTime, you know, we call him Demour, the wall for a reason. He is a fortress. He loves his Stargate openings. He loves his Oracle openings especially. And they're very good for scouting things out. And the thing is, like, he's just so good at defending all the standard stuff. And I wonder if Gumiho's builds, as cute as they are they weird enough to catch ShowTime off? Because I almost feel like it's just super optimized tank pushes and bunker pushes and stuff like that are usually what gets ShowTime, whether it be from a Cure with like a Proxy Marauder, but more often than not Maru. Like Maru and ShowTime I've played so many times over the years. ShowTime's beat him a handful of times, but more often than not, you can tell Maru switches into anti-ShowTime mode when he plays against ShowTime. And I think he's the guy you want to study if you want to figure out how to beat ShowTime. It's lots of really decisive pre-planned attacks where you be a little bit greedy, you cut some corners because ShowTime's so defensive, and then you just hit him with the most brutally all-in timing you can possibly go. Don't go half-assed with it. Don't just go, oh, maybe I'll do a bit of pressure. You commit 100% because ShowTime builds such a large amount of probes. If you half-ass it, you're not going to be in a good spot. Now, this is a Twilight Council opening for ShowTime. He's going to be going for a double Adept to start things off. The Reaper not going to be able to scout just yet. Oh, I love the Shade. Just keeping that Reaper at bay. Meanwhile, Commencer on the high ground, a very safe opening into Marauder. Will it be Hellions or Cyclones here? I've seen people do Hellions off this and push with like 2 Marauders and Concussive, but I don't really think it's super duper worth. I mean, this is safe defensively, right? Getting a few Marauders. Actually, is he going to do Stim? Like, he does go Concussive, because there is a 4 Marauder drop build, which Gumiho sometimes does, and it's really quite dangerous. If you can kill a couple of their Stalkers, the medevac drop just gets out of control because you can depower pylons, only 400 hit points. Marauder's doing 20 damage a shot, right? They take that down very, very quickly, right? And Hellions wreck probes. Probe pull normally is the counter to the Marauders. Extra Hellions and a medevac building. Yeah, looks like he's going for this Marauder drop. He won't have Stim straight away, but he'll add it, I believe, the moment Concussive is done. Problem with this build is, of course, your second barracks. Where's the reactor? Where's the Marine production? It doesn't exist. So if you lose all these units one-sidedly, it can go very badly. And ShowTime opening up 4-gate blink. 4-gate blink Robo is going to be so good at shutting this down. Gumiho doesn't hit very early with this build. This build does much better, I think, versus like a 2-gate blink Robo into a 3rd base. But Gumiho is going to find himself up against a rock-solid defensive Protoss player. Guys, sorry, I'm fidgeting around in my chair, moving away from my microphone. I'm excited. I'm excited. What the heck's going to go on here? Adept's going to Shade. Ah, no, goes down before the Shade can finish. Okay. 3 Stalkers, 1 Adept on the natural. I don't think there's any shield batteries right now, and that's a good call, guys. If you want to go 4-gate blink, you really need to make sure you spend all your money on getting those gateways up, those Stalkers out as quickly as possible. But check it out. Here comes 3 Marauders and a Marine in the drop. He's going to unload. Hellions do lots of damage to the Adept. The Marauder's trying to focus down that Stalker. The Adept does go down. He can use the medevac as well for some hot pickups. Oh, nice hot pickup on the Marauder. 1 Hellion does fall here. Another Stalker going down. Pretty good focus fire by Gumiho so far. Another Hellion does go down. The Stalker's starting to fall here. Dude, oh, this is where things can get out of control. Hellions driving to the main Hellion Reaper, but the Reaper gets killed by a Pro Pull down the bottom. The Hellion goes down as well. Back up here on the natural. And wow, only 3 probes go down. Don't be wrong, those 6 Stalker kills, that's expensive. That cost a lot for ShowTime, but he keeps his economy mostly untouched. Remember, the Marine production and the Stim are only just starting now. Third barracks has only just started. Is that good for ShowTime or is it good for Gumiho? Because the medevac survives. You only lose one marauder. Oh, blink, blink, blink. Oh, this is big. This is big. 2 marauders getting caught out in the open. Oh, okay. A stalker for those 2 marauders. Super worth, guys, as long as he gets both of them, which he should. And there we go. Indeed, he does. Nice hot pickup on the Prism as well. And 42 probes here. Probes moving out to take a 3rd Nexus for ShowTime as he warps in again on the front. Now, how safe is Gumiho here? That's kind of the question. These 2 tanks are kind of covering each other. I kind of like this tank position because the Stalkers can reach it from here and here, but only like 1 or 2 can attack it from each angle. I normally prefer to put my tanks a little bit closer together. Something I learned from Hero Marine last year is that he likes to always have his tanks spaced about, like, if there's a tank here, you'll have a tank there. Like, so that they're really covering each other and you're not spreading them out. That was back when he was doing double bunker on the natural every game because everyone was spamming 4-gate blink. That tank's in the open. Easy snipe. Big mistake for Gumiho there. Big mistake for Gumiho, just not moving his army around. And like I said, putting the tanks way too far away from each other. So they could blink in. They didn't even get hit by the other siege tank. And that's where things become a problem. ShowTime could have done a slightly better job there picking off the SCVs. Does lose 1 stalker for 5 workers, though. That's an amazing trade for him, nonetheless. This tank is so close to the wall off. I get he wants to, like, zone control and make it so ShowTime can't poke in and out, but that tank is just so vulnerable. Like, if I knew that was there as ShowTime, I'd just blink in, kill it, trade the 2 stalkers, and get out. Tanks are such an expensive resource. Now, there is an 8 Marine drop trying to sneak out the left side. Gumiho's down 9 workers with no 3rd command center started, whereas the Nexus is finishing. Forge and Robo Bay on the way. And ShowTime sneaking into the main base. You gotta be careful. Gumiho doesn't realize those stalkers are inside his main. But ShowTime's like, nah, with a tank behind the buildings, the Bio and the Viking there, he doesn't want to risk it. This 8 Marine drop with Stim sneaks into his main base, that'd be big, but notice ShowTime doesn't leave any vision here. So the moment that flies in, he will be spotted. First Colossus starts up, going 4 more gateways. That's going to be 8 gates, charge Colossus. 3rd Nexus already has 10 workers on it. Remember that 3rd command center still has not started. Every second this goes by without starting a 3rd command center, Gumiho gets further and further behind, and you can see it now. He finally comes out, gets rid of the Observer, starts his 3rd CC, but he's only on 2 tanks. Could have been on 3. Marine almost dies, but not quite. ShowTime has to blink away. Here comes that Marine drop. I like that he unloaded on the front. Stims in. Focus fires down a lot of these probes. 9 workers into the main base, but oh, recall already happened. Good pullback there by Gumiho. Gets the drop out. That's the important part. That equalizes things a bit, right, though? Every time you get a bit of damage like that, you look at the worker count, you go, you know what? If Terran just keeps macroing, they will be okay. 4th and 5th barracks starts up here for Gumiho as well. ShowTime, of course, just looking to stay solid and defensive. 3 stalkers in the main, more than enough to defend that drop. I'm surprised he's leaving it here. That's a very risky move. It tells you he's going to try to fly in and drop it at some point when he thinks ShowTime's, you know, distracted, but that's a dangerous move. Now, stylistically, guys, let's talk a bit, because I haven't had too much chance to set the stage. Gumiho is a big upgrade fan. He's a big fan, so this was perfect timing that he threw this down, because I was just about to talk about it, of delaying ghosts. Most Terrans, you'll notice they sit on 1/1 upgrades for a long time while adding ghosts and Vikings. Vikings to the Colossus, ghosts to counter the ground units, and they're happy to kind of fall behind on upgrades, potentially, right? They're usually ahead on the 1/1, and then they're behind on the 2/2 and 3/3. And that's what they accept, because they're like, I want EMP, I want Vikings, these are amazing units. Gumiho doesn't give a crud. He just is like, EMP, that's for losers. Most games of PvT, not always, but most, you will see Gumiho play this style where he just goes double upgrades and he makes nothing but biomine medevac for like 5 to 10 minutes longer than any other Terran player would. He'll still macro, he'll still keep expanding, he'll make 3/3, but it's just, I'm not adding the counter to the Colossus. I'm not adding the counter to the Archon. I'm just having more stuff, and I'm just going to overwhelm you with numbers, and that also gives him the opportunity to sometimes just like drop 4 medevacs in the main, and you think, well, that's his whole army, and then another like 40 Marauders and Marines arrive at your 4th base, and you're just kind of stunned at the sheer number, because you're used to playing Terrans who do it the other way around, where they focus on those tech units. Turret shoots the Prism as it comes in. Gumiho trying to get back to defend. This Prism could be huge, man. Zealots are actually doing okay against the Marauders. The medevac healing, though, is going to clean that up. Viking comes back a little bit slow. These SCVs need to run. That's the main thing in scenarios like this. Widowmine drop comes in. Doesn't really get anything. That drop goes in. Oh, it accidentally moves back in. This is what I was talking about. That's a very dicey drop. The SCVs, they should have ran to the other base. Guys, you always got to stack your SCVs on a base. But Gumiho running his SCVs around a little bit willy-nilly. Goes back to the Zealots. He's going to take even more damage here. Not Gumiho's cleanest play here at HomeStory Cup. It is a alcohol-fueled weekend. Let's be honest, guys. I think there's a reason Sarah wasn't at the tournament. I don't think it would look too good on the Finnish military's optics if they let a guy go and get drunk for a weekend, you know, while for a quote-unquote StarCraft tournament. Don't get me wrong. There's money on the line and quite a bit of it. There is a bit of prestige at the tournament, but I don't think it's going to be the one where players always have the most ultimate condition. Then again, Gumiho doesn't strike me as the kind of cat to be getting drunk in the middle of a tournament unless he's been eliminated. Double disruptor production on the way for ShowTime. 69 probes for ShowTime, channeling the power of memes right now. Has +3 attacks on the way. Gumiho with that 2/2 upgrades, about halfway, 3/4 of the way done, depending on which upgrade you're looking at. And Ghost Academy does come in. You can see 4th Command Center Ghost Academy around the same time. So big delay on that. But he hasn't really found the chance to be mobile. Remember what I was talking about? He likes to be mobile. Did that Marine just get chopped in half? Oh my gosh! That's one of my favorite rare Zealot killing Marine animations. That's brutal, dude. Nothing like getting sliced in half and having the body just fall away a little bit later. 3 ghosts building. 2 more barracks going down. Gumiho's going to go 7 barracks behind this. His first ghosts are on the way. He's now got that giant split bio army I was talking about, but he's actually down in army supply. Yeah, canceling the Nexus is a great move. Stalkers dodge the Disruptor, the Widow Mine shot, sorry. Bio does pull back after losing a medevac. Who would I favor here? I really don't know. 2 more gateways come out. I mean, Showtime's army supply just looks so good. But he doesn't have double upgrades. He's got double disruptor. I mean, I got to favor Showtime here, but he's got to get map control. Like, if he can clear these Widow Mines and Marines out, get some more Zealots going, and I really want to see him rebuild the Warp Prism. I think that's the big thing that he's missing right now is no more Prism to pin Gumiho at home or to reinforce his main army. But, on the other hand, 5 gateways building. So he's going to go 13 gateways. Remember, mass gateway production is a big part of Protoss power in the later stages. He's building a few more observers as well, which is brilliant. I have too many Protoss players over the last few years, man. Have I seen Protoss players with a single observer and they just go, oh, I can't have more than that, and I hate it. But like the way Showtime's actually sitting here on 68 workers, getting more observers, getting 68 probes, getting more observers, getting vision, adding cannon battery, it's an exceptionally safe style. It's very like stats inspired by the looks of it, where he's realizing, look, as long as I get up enough vision, have a big standing army, have a lot of gateways, I think I can win this game. I feel confident. Now, the longer it goes, the worse that gets, I'd say, with 3-3 on the way for Terran. Ghosts have been added in as well. There's 3 ghosts up here. He's going to try and jump on this army. Gumiho will punish him immediately by diving in the south, and Showtime really going to force this fight? Well, he's got 3 Colossus. He could take it, but the Colossus are too far behind. He's got to get out of there. If his army was all together with like maybe 8 more Zealots in a spread, maybe. But look at that. Cannon battery gets the 9 down there. Showtime only now starting +1 army. He's played single forge this whole game, which is very good when your opponent's in your face being aggressive. But in a game like this where Gumiho's kind of stalling it out, he's building a 5th command center. You really want things to go your way. Dude, that bio is triple stimmed. Oh, Gumiho was way too deep here without enough medevacs. He's only on 5 medevacs. Wow. Oh, okay. Gumiho needs more medevac production, and he needs it right now, guys. He's queuing up more bio. He's only got 5 medevacs on this map. Look on the left. These guys are out of energy as well. So one of the most important upgrades for late game is something that he doesn't have yet. He needs to get his fusion core, and he needs to get Caduceus reactor. It's such an important upgrade, but he never took his... Guys, he's on 4 gas? Oh, what? Gumiho is playing a super efficient mineral style. I mean, that's going to get him a lot of command centers with all those extra minerals. Oh, no, he walks up a ramp into a disruptor shot on the left side. Sorry, I only caught the tail end of that. I'll try to show that in the replay at the end of the game. 13.5 minutes. I'm going to mark that down in my brain because we just saw a lot of Gumiho's bio walk up a ramp into a disruptor shot. Good vision management for Showtime. I think he has an observer over there. Yeah, he does. See, that's it. The observer is what allowed him to set that shot up. Gumiho's going to load up a double drop, but that means he's got nothing at home. Oh, no. Okay, quickly unloads those drops, realizing Showtime might be eager to push him here. Stalkers move up. They take some tank shots. They pull away. 6th base on the way for Showtime. 5th base finally back up here on the south after being denied multiple times. He's up to 75 workers now. Is Showtime as well. Widow Mine does get a decent splashy on 3 of the Zealots. Clears one of them. +1 armor kicking in for Showtime, but 3-3 is almost done for Gumiho. Showtime's going for it, man. Oh, the tank's focusing the disruptors. 1 disruptor does go down. And, oh, a siege tank does fall. One tank still there. The Colossus shooting the siege tanks, not the most effective use of those. The Disruptors caught out. The Colossus are doing good damage, though. Where's the Zealot Warpins? He does have a Warp Prism on that left side. The Zealot Warpin's going to be big. Every single Disruptor goes down. There's little bits of Disruptor flying all over the place. There's one remaining tank. Remember, he only built 3 tanks this game. That tank's done a lot of damage. It doesn't have a lot of kills, but it's done a lot of damage. And giving the only real ranged firepower to the army other than a few Vikings. Fusion Core finally goes down. Gumiho's like, oh gosh, I need lib range, I need medevac upgrades. I think he's realizing how bad this position is now. And ShowTime, yes, he's down 1,000 resources and the unit's lost. But being on 6 bases against a Terran, will he be able to defend his 5th? I don't know. Right now, I think ShowTime can just lean on him. ShowTime's got the numbers here. Big advantage on the front lines. Remember, ShowTime's warping an army on the front. Gumiho's units have to reinforce across this map. These Marines can't come forward. The Colossus will roast them. Look, the thing is, right now, the Colossus are the longer-ranged army. There's no medevac energy either, so there's no healing. You're outranged. Yes, the planetaries are. So ShowTime can't just kill the planetary, but he can chip at it with Colossus. He can throw some disruptor shots in there. I wouldn't go for it like that. Wow, crazy, brave move here for ShowTime. Throws a disruptor shot on the repairing SCVs. The planetary does go down. He's just keeping the bio back on the south with the disruptors. He manages to clear the base out. Gumiho, he'd like to get revenge. Instead, he's going to break the rocks to go for a bit of a counterattack, but 11 SCVs go down. Disruptor comes in, gets itself only a Widow Mine and a Marine or two, but with the Zealots warping on that right side. Okay, nice snipe on the Prism from the Marines. Gumiho's doing the best he can here. Those 3 Colossus, there's just no answer. 3-3 upgrades are good, but the 3-1 Protoss, the Disruptors, the Stalkers, the Zealots, the masses of gateways reproducing. It was up to 15 gateways, and ShowTime, calm, cool, collected, and slowly cleans up Gumiho. Really nice game 1 here for ShowTime, and Gumiho unable to really get the momentum. Now, just wanted to show you guys what happened with that Disruptor shot on the left side. You can see he has an observer here tracking this army. He sees it retreating. He moves up, clears the Marine. So Gumiho knew there was some army around here, but he didn't really know that ShowTime has the information advantage. But ShowTime sees him coming, and... oh, that's huge. Oh, man, he could have spread those shots out even better and got even more there, but I think he was busy fighting on the right side of the map. That was still a lovely, lovely shot. Just to show you guys, 15 kills and 3 kills. I don't think they had any kills before that fight, guys. Yeah, it was 0 kills. They all had 0 kills. So he gets 15 on the first one, 3 on the second one. That's brutal. GG, well played. Game 1 for ShowTime. All right, well, map 2 is going to be Site Delta for Gumiho in the top left side. A big spread on the Protoss bases on this map may favor him a little more than Oceanborn, even though it's a longer rush distance across the map. ShowTime, I'd love to see him go back to that famous Oracle opening, but I wonder if that's not working for him lately, because there's so many aggressive Cyclone builds, and Gumiho's obviously a player who loves to do those. Might be something ShowTime steers away from in this series. We know Phoenix Colossus is still out there, still exists, but ShowTime's a player who is, you know, weirdly consistent to the point of being predictable. Like, there were times where he would open up 2 to 3 Oracles every single PvT, and he looked unstoppable against any standard player. Like I said, it was only when like guys like Maru, the best Terrans in the world, would come out with specific kind of timing attacks and cheeses and rushes to take him out. And you go, okay, cool, there is some weakness to that. The problem always for ShowTime in this matchup has been, even when he gets advantages, they slip away very often. I wonder if that's changed in the recent patch with like EMPs being nerfed and stuff like that. Maybe? I still think I'm always worried for ShowTime because he's so passive that it's really outside of his skill set to go and win the game. And that's a big weakness in StarCraft, because if you can, I mean... I know this sounds like, wow, not being able to win the game is a weakness, Pig. That's very insightful. This is what we're here for, the A-tier commentary. But it stands true. It really is the thing. Like, if you're able to just go kill someone when you're a bit ahead, and often, even if you're a bit behind, right? Think of, like, Dark, think of Hero. They're so good at just hitting surprising attacks and finishing their opponents off. They're able to win from behind all the time. Whereas for ShowTime, even when he's ahead, there's a good chance the game drags on long enough that if his opponent plays really well, they can get right back into the game. The fights looked confident in that last one, though. And that's something where, like, a year ago, when ShowTime was really struggling, I remember talking to him a whole bunch. Was it Katowice this year or last year? Jeez, I can't even remember. It all blends into one in my brain. It was one of these. I think it was 2023 Katowice, so about a year and 3 months ago now. I remember just being like, so yeah, like how do you, you know, these Terran armies, like how do you deal with them? This last year, I think I was talking to Showtime a bit more about Neural Parasite, because Reyna kept making really dirty comebacks versus him with Neural, stealing his army. But we were talking about how to counter that. But I remember being like, you know, there's got to be a way you can finish games off these leads a little bit better. I'm like, you know, I'm like, and he's like, yeah. He's like, I agree. Tell me how. And I'm like, I wish I knew, Showtime. It's one of these things where often the style of the player, like Estrella kind of has the same problem, because these players are so optimized to like get ahead defensively off things. Estrella does, even though Estrella is a very tricky player, it's kind of in the same vein where he doesn't usually have the right setup to suddenly turn it into a counterattack. It's also just harder in general to get really good at reactively killing opponents. Whereas if you look at guys like Hero and Dark, they often just pick a big build and they just go for it. Zero care for, oh, this doesn't look great for it. Doesn't matter. They're just like, they just go for it. And sometimes it falls flat and we go, that seemed like a silly build. But it's all those reps of just committing 100% that make them so good at exercising those build orders. So anyways, if there's one fear for me in this series, it's that like Gumiho can like recover from lost games by like just turtling and then suddenly he goes 3-base range lib, like a really weird special transition. That's something Gumiho likes to do sometimes, is 3-base range lib. Like no ghosts, nothing else, just bio, medevac, range lib. That stuff maybe could get him back in some games against Showtime. I still think Showtime's a pretty good match for him though. Look at this. Look at his setup, guys. 4 Stalkers in the depth, ready at 410. He knows this is the sort of time where a drop could come. He sees it. Target the medevac is usually what you want to do, but instead he's just going to focus the Marines here. You see Gumiho pulls back the weak guys. And with the Stalker spotting it, he's like, okay, don't want to risk losing any of these units. A good choice to pull back for Gumiho. Gumiho's got for the natural, after building that on the high ground, he's gone 3 barracks, starport floating back, Raven and Cyclone here. So he's looking to hunt observers potentially with that squad, but it's not the best defensively against Blink. So he will need to build a bunker. He's going to need to like siege his tanks. He loves this like forward tank that kind of covers the main and also covers the natural. I think on this map, that's a pretty good choice because Stalkers coming into this choke point is super cramped. They're going to take massive splash damage as long as you've got some supporting units nearby. Yeah. Tank gets a shot off. I mean, another player might have gone in and picked off a few SCVs before blinking out. But Showtime's a very safe player. He takes it very chill. He's gone for a 3rd and 4th gateway and charge. Very early charge. His 3rd base is already finished, though. Very nice, greedy 2-gate blink robo build. And I gotta say, I don't like Gumiho's opening. There's a 6 Marine drop into just turtling with Raven tank. The tanks are so spread apart. Once again, guys, I gotta say, like, if these Stalkers like blink there and kill the tank, or blink here and kill these Marines, I mean, I really feel like Showtime has a lot of room to work in this natural. He should be moving in the south side and picking off some SCVs and Marines. This is like a very low-risk maneuver right now, knowing that tank's so far back. It's like, Gumiho's being a little greedy, man. He's going to bring this medevac down here. It looks like he was planning to fly out. There you go. You got a Marine. Not a huge amount of damage. Gumiho's now going to sneak that 8 Marine drop across into the main again. But look, there's an observer there and a pilot on the edge of the base. Robo Bay's coming in. He's up to 4 gas. Notice how there's Sentries and Immortals, or Sentries and Colossus now coming in. I guess he always skips the Immortal stage, doesn't he? Oh, Showtime's looking for it. Guys, he sees it. He sees it. He sees it. He sees it. Oh, can he get it? He's got Blink, doesn't he? Yeah, he gets a medevac. Wow, is he even going to lose a Stalker? Not even close. Stim wasn't even done for these Marines, guys. That's huge. The Observer must have seen it leave. Oh, and at this point, Gumiho should be scanning. He should know there's an Observer watching him. He's going to move out. Is this a serious move out, or is this more of a fake, guys? I can't quite tell. It looks kind of like a fake, but it's just not that much units to it, right? Not that much oomph. Stalkers hit the counter attack. Gonna grab a Marine and an SCV. Blink out. Oh, he goes for the Marauder. Nice hot pickup there for Gumiho, though. You could see he saved that Marauder. Oh, he's gonna pick up. Oh, my gosh. Still just doggedly pushing in. Feel like Gumiho, a good defensive micro, but he was lacking a little bit of the offense, potentially. First Colossus is out. No Viagra this game, guys. Extended Thermal Lance did not get upgraded. But he's going up to 8 gateways, so the production of the charge lots will be great. If Gumiho commits, he's dead. He sees Colossus Mass Zealot, and he's like, whoa! Showtime is so far ahead. Showtime is so far ahead. Showtime can take a 4th base right now. Yeah, he's moving out now to take a 4th. He could have already taken a 4th. His forge is late. Okay. He's got 1 forge up, but he hasn't used it yet. He's just started the 2nd forge. I think he's forgotten about the 1st forge, even though he built it right next to it. Nerves are no doubt high here, guys. It's been a while since Showtime's been in a big finals like this. at a major LAN event. Cyril's been dominating HomeStory Cups for a while, guys. Some Thermalance there. I mean, who's won HomeStory Cup in the last 5 years? Mostly Cyril. Rainer's won at least one, maybe two. I think Clem won one, didn't he? I think Clem won a HomeStory Cup, right? I believe he did. I can't quite remember. I think he beat Rainer in a close finals one time, right? So I remember people were talking about Clem's level, and someone was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "You know, Clem hasn't won a tournament. Like, you can't. He's never won a LAN." And people were like, "No, he won HomeStory. I'm pretty sure this is a thing." Maybe it was in the online age though. Maybe it was like a stay-at-home story cup. Maybe it was in 2021 because Clem was doing really well in that time, of course. Anyways, double upgrades are on the way. Showtime's 4th base is up. He's not probing that high. It's the modern age, guys. Back in the day, Showtime Protoss players used to rush to 85 workers. But I think more and more in the modern day, players are realizing keeping a balance between army over here and worker supply is very important. If you go to 85 workers, not only does it give your opponent the chance to like take good positions because they've got a bigger army compared to you, your army's smaller, it also just means you hit max and you don't have enough stuff in your forces. So getting a little bit more money by putting the extra 5 or 10 or 15 workers, it does help you the longer the game goes, but more and more we're seeing players just go, you know what, 70 probes is more than enough. I'm just going to sit on 70, have a bigger army, and I'm really going to focus on using that army to take correct engagements. Keep taking Nexite and just transferring workers, because you see, look, oh, mineral line's half mined out. We'll transfer from, we've already transferred from there. The natural, these minerals tend to mine out at about 11.5 to 12 minutes. Okay, we'll grab 8 of those workers at that time, send them down to the 5th base. So every few minutes, you just transfer to these new bases, occasionally take a few new gases, but notice as well, only 4 gases. There's no gas on the 3rd or 4th base. So it's a very zealot-heavy build-up. And now, as double disruptor production and the warp prism speed comes in, we're going to see how that adjusts. I actually prefer observer speed in this matchup because I'm a big old noob. I love my observer speed. Vikings up top. Gumiho's just turning... I've been talking about what Showtime's doing for 5 minutes, guys. Sorry, bad commentary here. Just kind of umming and ahhing about what's going on. Gumiho's just miles behind in this game. The Raven Cyclone opening didn't work out. The Marine drop didn't do anything. Essentially, he didn't play very greedy. He got no aggressive damage done. So he is simply playing from behind. His 9 more gateways build. There's going to be 21 gates for Showtime. This is proper stat style, guys. Stats and Showtime, birds of a feather, man. Going up to 7 barracks right now is... oh, actually, no, sorry, not 7 barracks. He's still only on 5. Second factory. Guys, do you think he goes double tank production and plays Mega Turtle? Remember what I was talking about? Sometimes Showtime gets ahead and does nothing with it. Right now, he's getting a lot of production. He's getting good upgrades. I wouldn't mind a 2-2 timing. I don't know, though. Part of me says, go attack now, dude. You're already maxed. Like, go trade. Catch him out. Use your advantage. Probes plus shield battery beat Marine. Protoss. Proof they're imbalanced, guys. Quick. Get that whining in the chat, Terrans. 4 more missile turrets building on the edges, making sure he is absolutely warp prism proof. 21 gateways are up with 5 more about to finish, guys. What the hell? He's got so many. Look at that main base. What? What in the heck? He's going for it. Showtime's going to push in from the north. Takes out the bunker. Going to be chill for a moment. Raven, Viking, Bio Ghost. Pretty complicated army to micro for the Terran. He's got 2 Vikings up north. I'd like to see him joined into his army now that he's got missile turrets up there. And he's just waiting for his tanks to defend this. Ooh, okay. As long as you avoid the disruptor shots, I think you're okay. Gumiho does have vehicle weapons on the way. So yeah, he's playing Mega Turtle Siege Tank style. Tanks are very good for not dying in this matchup. They're very bad for just about everything else, guys. They're good for making sure you don't die. They're very bad for attacking because their immobility combined with their weakness to Zealots and Immortals is a big problem. Now, Showtime's got 3-3 on the way. He's continuing to warp in. I'd love to see him continue with Zealot attacks towards the natural, but like bigger Zealot attacks, as well as keep chipping away with the disruptors. And we look at his vision. Showtime doesn't really have any observers on the front lines. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. Nope. Okay, he takes out the sensor tower. Wouldn't mind him still chipping with these, but I think the lack of vision is meaning Showtime is being a little bit tentative, a bit cautious. 2-2 upgrades, or +2 attack at least is finishing for Terran. Anti-armor missile, always a good thing to try and disincentivize the Protoss from fighting for the next... Is it 20 seconds for anti-armor missile, guys? I think it's 21 seconds, right? pretty long duration, as you can see, before that Dorito dust wears off. -2 armor on all units affected by that. Ooh, he wants to secure his 4th. He's got to get, like, a couple tanks there, but maybe some tanks here as well. He's going to scan. Siege the tanks, siege the tanks, siege the tanks. Oh, that EMP kind of didn't hit anything, did it? Another anti-armor missile goes down. Great positioning for Gumiho. The numbers are pretty big for ShowTime. Ooh, beautiful spready, though. Dude. Gumiho with a nice angle. He's got to be careful. That's 21 zealots. 21 zealots just warped in, guys. Oh, my God. The zealot reinforce is insane. ShowTime. It's 26 gateways of zealot production. Oh my gosh, the start of the fight is so good for Gumiho. Despite that, ShowTime still manages to get an okay trade, I guess. What's that? He's down 2,000 resources, but I think that's okay because he has so many more bases. Gumiho's struggling to take a 4th. Look how quick he's going to remax, guys. He kept some disruptors alive. I'd like one more round of stalkers. He's got 34 zealots. I think another round of stalkers and then go. Send these zealots in the natural and he can break Gumiho. Because, like, Gumiho's style really is a long shot. He's going to make transformation servos right now. +3 attack, +2 armor. Gumiho's thinking, cool, I took a pretty good fight. Like, I think I can, like, recover now, rebuild my max, and I'm on 4 base. He just doesn't realize how insane ShowTime's production is. ShowTime's also on 80 probes, so he did build a bit of a bigger income, setting himself up quite well for a longer game. The Marine Marauder will defend there, but it's the right side. That's what matters. Remember, most of the tanks went down the planetary. He's going to try and repair it. The Zealots are just going to overwhelm, dude. No Fs given. ShowTime's units are, I don't know, they're like rabbits, man. They say Protoss photosynthesize. That means they live off sunlight and manage to turn that into energy for themselves. But right now, I feel like he's a rabbit. He's just been eating grass all day and making babies. Oh, misclick with the disruptors. Path those around to the left. He thought they would have gone to the right. I think he clicked them over here somewhere. It's a bit of an unfortunate one, losing those 3. Plasma Shields comes in now for ShowTime. He's going to take another base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to take base number 8 against a 4-base Terran. Gumiho needs the efficiency of the gods. Let's see what he can do. He's a bit spread out against Mass Zealot. Against Mass Zealot, you want to be clumped. You want to be spread against things like Colossus, but because he's spread, the Zealots get amazing surface area, and that's actually really bad positioning for Gumiho. Yeah, he gets overrun there. Doesn't really have the numbers. I don't think he could have defended anyway, but ShowTime. Rock solid, getting way ahead in the early game. I gotta point out to you guys, this opening just fell flat. This first medevac drop came in, got deflected by the Stalkers, and then he went Raven and Cyclone, which is just a big commitment in tech units that achieved very little for him in the game. Didn't kill many observers. The second and third barracks are delayed a little bit, and even then, he didn't get anything done with his early stim, while ShowTime got away with a greedy 4-minute third base. I mean, come on, that's even before 4 minutes, dude. That was like a 350 third base. You cannot let ShowTime get away with this. All right, well, Big Esports ShowTime's on a roll right now, but he's going into Dynasty, one of the crazier maps in the map pool, where you get a gold base that's exposed from the reverse side. We do see Max often take it on the outside to try and get the rich gas and the gold minerals for the ultimate risk, ultimate reward. But Gumiho in the top right, a creative genius. He's going to be very good at trying to secure the gold. And I think Terran's naturally a bit stronger on this map than Protoss. Even though I've seen Max win a lot on it. Max has this special factor of winning really well on gold-based maps. And we have said historically that gold-based maps are good for Protoss, but it depends. It depends. Basically, in general, the way that this map plays is if you can secure your gold mineral line while denying theirs, the momentum gains are accelerated massively. Because number one, normally your natural expansion is not so exposed. So imagine having mining denied on your natural is really big in StarCraft. But in this case, you're losing gold minerals. And then if your opponent gets that bit of momentum and they're mining gold minerals without any harassment, the game explodes and runs away very quickly. So this map is prone to one-sided matches where it's like ultra focus on, okay, some people say, well, it's not a good map then. I would say maps like this are good because it leans more into the strategy of like, guys, there's more weight on this early game. There's more weight on denying your opponent's gold, getting your own gold up. How you balance that is huge. And it has game deciding, implications here. ShowTime, to the surprise of no one, takes the normie Nexus to the top and says, I'm just not going to play the gold-based game. I'm just going to play safe. And Gumiho, he's gone double gas. So he's going to go for the quick factory. He's only pulled 1 off each gas, not 2. Normally you pull 2 off one of the gases and 1 off the other. There we go. He pulls it off now. Okay. So it is just going to be a normal expansion. The question is, do we go Cyclones or do we build a lot of Reaper Hellion? Because Reaper Hellion very good. You can jump up the back door. They could build a pylon and like a gateway here to wall off the jumping path, but otherwise Reapers can jump in the back. You can try to dart in and kill probes on the gold, all this sort of stuff. But Gumiho, for now, just for getting a reactor, moving down to start that expansion. When he gets to 400 minerals, see that SCV is just waiting, and 400 minerals, bam, command center goes down. Ooh, Adept's coming forward. Oh, I like the way he holds the shade back. So if Gumiho wasn't watching for an extra second, there's just, you know, he doesn't give away that he's waiting. And then it's like you could get a hit off and then bam, the shade chases him and you get a second hit, maybe even a third one if you're lucky, if you're right on top of him. ShowTime is very good with these Adepts, very methodical. And Twilight Council again, ShowTime. Remember I told you guys ShowTime for like a year or 2 years just played 2 Oracle every single game? I don't think we're going to see any Stargate this series. We might. Maybe there's like one map like Alcyon or something where he's, or Alcyone. It's so funny. I tried to like Google that pronunciation. I couldn't find it. I asked Zombie Grub. She couldn't find it. And then I Googled it the other day and it actually showed up. And I'm just like, man, Google be trolling me on this one. But I'm going to stick with Alcyon since I've been saying it that way for so long. Otherwise, I'll just go back and forth and it'll be confusing. But yeah, on that map, maybe we'll see like a Phoenix Colossus, just because it's kind of popular there. I don't know though. I just feel like, especially if it's going well, ShowTime ain't gonna change anything, dude. So is this 3-gate blink? Hello. All right, guys, we've got 3-gate blink on the way, but unfortunately, this pylon gets denied, denying the warp-in point. Gold base kicking in. There's a Banshee on the way with cloak for Gumiho. So Gumiho's planning like a marine tank Banshee sort of push. And that's generally a pretty decent push. And this is a good way, I think, of just making sure ShowTime can't secure the gold. Also keeps his own gold safe. Losing that pylon did supply block ShowTime. So that was actually a really effective pylon snipe because that was built into ShowTime's build. He was relying on that providing supply. Now these 4 Marines, I mean, this is such a weird drop. 4 Marines is not a big drop. It looks like he's just like, hey, where's the gold? You're really not taking the gold yet? And he's actually going to pull back just as ShowTime comes down with this pylon. 3rd gas goes down now for Gumiho. Mr. Gumi Bro, as some of us call him. And dude, Gumiho really needs to win a game. He needs to win a game. If he doesn't win a game now on the creative weird map, I feel like ShowTime is going to be very hard to stop in this series. ShowTime's gone 3rd gas, 3-gate blink. He's got a 4th gate. He's got a War Prism on the way. Okay, so this is just like a 4-gate blink, but like a kind of slow one because his proxy got denied. Reaper's coming in and Gumiho's like, dude, where is your 3rd base? And he's about to see there's no 3rd. And I think this forces Gumiho to play a longer game. Yeah, Gumiho really wanted to push ShowTime's 3rd base with Banshee Tank Marine. Instead, I think he just goes Banshee Harassment and just turtles. And just goes, you know what, I got 3 barracks, got me engineering bay. Wouldn't be surprised to see a 3rd command center on the high ground and float it down. Does he have a tank up? Yeah, he's got a tank. Stalkers can still run in and pick off SCVs and mules, depending on how good you micro. And you can also run around the right side and then try to blink up into the main base. There's actually a lot of area. You can blink there, blink here, blink straight across the gold. Oh, Banshee flies into the Stalkers, almost gets taken out. Oh, he blinks across the gap. ShowTime! Okay, ShowTime apparently playing crazy person StarCraft today. Blinks into a massive Marines and tanks. He does get rid of the tank, but he loses another Stalker there. 4 Stalkers in total. It should have only been 3. The Banshee's going to get him. The Banshee's going to get him, I think, guys. There's a new tank as well. Oh, the Banshee. He needs the Observer. Where is it? Back at home. Another Banshee comes in. Shield battery goes down. Uh-oh. The Observer. One's at home. Is there one on the front? It looks like that Banshee just killed another Stalker. This Banshee gets out after killing a shield battery and 2 probes. Really nice counter harassment from Gumiho. But remember, he doesn't have a 3rd command center started. So even though he's ahead right now, and his stim's on the way, he's still got to stabilize against this pressure. ShowTime attacking with the Stalkers right now. 4-gate blink's a great way of trying to, you know, preemptively get on top of a Terran who you know is going to be very aggressive and shut them down. 3rd base at the front for ShowTime. ShowTime wants to secure the front side so he can move towards the gold base, get the purple gas at the same time. If he gets that, he knows that'll secure the win. Because that purple gas is a double mining gas. The gold is plus 40% mining. And actually, he's getting a surprising amount of damage here. Adept does go down. I think he might be forcing his way into a concave a bit too much there, though. And he should be backing out. He's in tank range. ShowTime. Easy, bro. Banshee coming across this map. There should still be a few Stalkers and an Observer there. But look at that, guys. Shield battery not finished. Just starting, in fact, on the 3rd. So these guys move back, but that means this Banshee could come back in. Oh, ShowTime. Don't be lazy. You got to split these units up, my friend. He's trying to harass the gold base. He feels the pressure of the gold base so hard. And look at this. Double drop goes straight through the middle. Great move there. So as this Banshee gets the pull out of position, he moves south. This other Banshee is going to move straight and very predictably. But ShowTime's letting the chaos of the game get to him a little bit. And he's like, I got to do damage. And he could actually blink across there. And he will. He will take out the tank. Okay, this is a big blink. He's got Stalkers in the back of the main as well. Does Gumiho care, though, because he's got Stim Bio. Stim Bio does way more damage. Banshee in the main base does go down. Third base will fall for ShowTime. ShowTime's doing massive damage on the other side. He's killed 15 workers. But he's getting cleaned up now. Remember, even 1 or 2 Stim Marauders just does so much damage to these Stalkers. ShowTime's going to be back to 2 base, as is Gumiho. Gumiho's got the gold mining. Gumiho is down 7 workers. Colossus are on the way. If there weren't Colossus, I'd say Gumiho's miles ahead. Sorry for the screens per minute right now. I know I'm bouncing around a lot, but I'm trying to friggin' track what's going on. And this is what the players are having to track as well. So hope you guys don't mind the observing being a little shaky there. Ooh, oh, nice hot pickups, dude. ShowTime. ShowTime. Is this really the best usage of his APM right now, though? It's like damaging a few units is good, but I think getting out of there is more important. He's got a recall. Oh, God, he's going to get trapped. He's going to get trapped. Oh, luckily for him, it was only 3 Marines. So, looks like he does get out of there with the Stalkers, and he's going to be able to chill for a moment. And the thing is, if Gumiho moves out the right side, you can run in and, like, kill all of his gold mining, right? Unless he mines open the gold minerals, in which case, if he gets rid of both of these minerals, then he can maybe move out there. But, oh, here comes a crazy move out drop. Stalkers. Oh, my gosh, ShowTime. Tanks firing on the Zealots. He gets a medevac with some units inside. Well worth losing the Stalker there. ShowTime's in position. ShowTime's looking so good. ShowTime's looking so good. He's up 10 probes. The 3rd Nexus is there. If he can transfer probes and then maybe even think about taking an early 4th. I mean, you don't need to attack as ShowTime. You're just looking to, like, delay an attack from him. Now, he doesn't have a Guardian Shield right now, so he is warping in a few more sentries. I actually think that's a legendary choice. I was just thinking he needs something to just slow Gumiho down. And like there, he loses a Zealot for a Marine. It's a good trade for Gumiho. You got to be careful with these sort of trades. If you got the reactor, it would have been good. But he's forcing the tanks to inch out. You know, he's really keeping Gumiho pinned on 2 base. His 3rd base is almost back up. Forge is coming in. Like I said, a fast 4th is not necessary, but it's just one of those things that'll seal the deal. If he takes it maybe a minute and a half from now. If we get to 11 minutes, similar situation, that'll be a good time to take it. The Marine Marauder's trying to pull back right now. Gumiho's in a desperate position. And the reason is, don't get me wrong, his army can beat ShowTime's, but ShowTime's not going to be dumb enough to fight him. So ShowTime's making it really hard for him to move across. Ooh, lots of Viking tank there. ShowTime! Zealot drop flies into the Vikings. Okay, he saves all the Zealots and the Prism. Wow. But look, now Gumiho's confident. Now Gumiho should be confident moving out because he just beat that army a bit. Disruptor's on the way out of the single robo. 3rd base is here. Remember what I said about the 4th base, guys? He needs it. He's going to move down now and start getting ready to take the 4th because his main's half mine out. His natural's going to half mine out soon. His 3rd is like oversaturated on just 54 probes. That's why I want that. But oh, the gold minerals! The gold minerals mined out. ShowTime! He doesn't realize. Okay, he's got a base trade. ShowTime, you have to base trade. I know you don't have an aggressive bone in your body, but you got to go. You got to go right now. He sees the army in the north. He has to go aggressive. Base trade! He should be base trading. He's going to try and recall home. Oh, no. He's let Gumiho get out of position. Get him out of position, I should say. Disruptor shot whiffs. Doesn't land on anything. And now he's way out in the open against this. At least the tanks are sieged pretty far back. That Colossus gets home as well. The Prism's still alive. He does pop 2 Guardian Shields in panic, which means he's not going to have Guardian Shield for this next part of the fight. It's going to run out in a few seconds there. The Zealots get a sick angle, though. The Colossus doing some good damage, but man, that's a lot of bio. Gumiho just built up a killer army. The Disruptor shot does land 7 kills there. Colossus on the left goes down, though. Colossus on the right going down. There's no armor or attack upgrades for the Protoss, and that makes a big difference. I really feel like he needed to just wear this army down just a little bit. Oh, great dodge on the left of that Disruptor shot. Beautiful dodge there. Viking tank there, more than enough to counter these Colossus. And now as the bio pushes in towards the main, we've got to wonder, like, what's left? A few Stalker Warpins on that right side. ShowTime doesn't quite have the numbers. You got to be wary. Everyone forgets about the gold minerals mining out and that opening a new path on the map. Oh, GG. Nice win for Gumiho. I didn't even notice it, man. What time? So I would say from about 9 minutes onwards, guys, 9 or 10 minutes, you should just always expect, if they've taken the gold early, this path to be open. I think it's good to program yourself to think of this path opening on a timer at 10 minutes. Like, you as a player could set an alarm on your phone to set off at 10 minutes while you're playing, just to, like, beep a tone to make you remember, oh, gold minerals are open at this point. Because look at this, ShowTime just got bullied back a little bit, but he's still got the observer. He's like, it's cool, you're turtled up. And it just took him too long to realize. Now, was base trade the call, guys? I don't know if he wins a base trade. I mean, obviously Terran's pretty good at floating buildings, but I think because he was right next to the Terran base, I think if he immediately moves in here, he's got such a head start on the base trade that he might still be able to, like, recall and save the main or the third base. He could definitely run some probes from the base to try to get out. Maybe get a disruptor shot off on some bio in the midst of it. But obviously ShowTime's more of a defensive guy, but you can see, look at that, guys. 3 Guardian Shields popped in panic without the fight really starting. First disruptor shot whiffing. It's an SCV pull as well. It's so all in. And you can see, like, he needed a really good fight against this. And it's not a bad fight for ShowTime, just not quite enough. Really well played there by Gumiho. All right, well, thank gosh he could salvage that. If he wasn't able to salvage that game, Cloud9's Gumiho was going to be in big trouble. Because that is the special tactics map. And it was indeed, I guess, being aware of one of those special features of the map and utilizing that against Mr. Standard Play ShowTime in the top right that managed to catch him off. Big Esports ShowTime still up 2-1 in this series. It's a best of 7, so first to 4 maps will be taking home the prize money, the trophy. And what an opportunity is for both of these players. They're both fantastic players, but if you think about it, you know, ShowTime makes it to those occasional finals and usually gets blocked by, like, a Rainer or a Serral. Occasionally, like, a Clem. Max packs if it's online. Gumiho, last time he made it to a big land finals, got blocked by Serral in Sweden. Jönköping in 2023? 2022? When was that? Was that 2023? Did we do... Jeez, my memory is terrible. I think it was 2023. About a year ago. Year and a little bit ago. Man, that was a very fun finals as well. I still wish... I mean, it's just this funny thing where, like, players are always kind of beating Serral in macro games, and he's just so patient, and then he just kind of wins. He's so... He eventually picks, like, the best fight ever, and I think it was Gumiho swapping to battle cruisers that actually lost him that game versus Serral in the snow map, Altitude. Because he was actually beating Serral with combat Hellbat drops. So it was traditional mech, tanks, Thors, and whenever the fight would start, he'd just boost like 6 medevacs forward and drop Hellbats in the middle of the Zerg army to do maximum splash damage. And it was so effective. But then he was kind of winning the game, but it's hard to finish off a Zerg even when you're ahead, especially with mech, because it's so slow. And he swapped to battle cruisers and started, like, diving them, teleporting them into bases, but Serral was so methodical on just running drones away, cleaning them up with corruptors, and just getting such good value trades that Gumiho couldn't quite keep up then. All right, guys, we've got 1 worker off each of these gases in the main base. Natural Command Center coming up. Reaper's coming in. Hello, mate. Reaper's going to go for a little bit of a scout. Second Reaper and a Cyclone on the way behind this. It is a Twilight Council yet again, guys, surprising absolutely no one. ShowTime is going to play Blink every single game of this series by the looks of it. That seems to be his thing. And I mean, it's this weird thing where, like, at pro level, I really think if you can... If you could play as good with a style as ShowTime, but then also only use that style half the time and play just as good with another style, like, that's the dream. Obviously, like, well, if you could play this good with 2 different styles and just swap between them so your opponent never knows what to expect, like, it's the ultimate. But it's just, it never happens. The only way you get as good as ShowTime is by constantly sticking with that style every single game until you know every situation in and out. The reason why I harp on so much about how impressed I am with Serral, with how flexible he's been and how many build orders he does recently, and, you know, why I give hero props despite him constantly having inefficiencies in his play and weird decisions, is the flexibility is what matters. It's the ability to surprise your opponent is such a big part of real-time strategy, and that's something which ShowTime very rarely can do in the early stages of a game. It's more about, can he figure out what his opponent's doing and block them, you know? It's such a good style to learn from because it's so reactive, scouting based. It's a mixture of solid play, scouting, and reactions. Gumiho, Medevac's on the way, and a second tank. Tank push, big tank push. Okie dokie. It's very good for Showtime that he's building a third gateway right now, guys. Third gate, Robo. He's got a battery coming up on the natural as well. Because it's going to be a 2-tank push. I would imagine we're going to see a few SCVs pulled, probably mostly for repairing siege tanks, but potentially also for building bunkers. And he's going to try and push this natural. Is Mr. Gumiho. Gumiho's got 2 depots building. He is building pretty much more or less non-stop SCVs, but notice he's prioritizing marine tank production over SCV production. And he's going to go tech lab on that starport, as well as a second barracks. Third siege tank starting as well. 2 tanks in the medevacs. Here comes the army. 2 Reapers and a Cyclone, not going to contest the middle. Oh, it's an ambush. It's an ambush here for Gumiho. Stalkers push forward and doesn't actually get a kill. This is really good for Showtime because this slows the push down. And wow, Gumiho just goes home. No, this is too passive. I really wish he just pushed down the left with his whole army the moment he saw those Stalkers, guys. I really don't like this setup for Gumiho because, guys, he's committed pretty hard. He cut a few SCVs. He's been doing nothing but building tanks. I mean, I guess you can just push with the 3rd tank, but like the longer this goes, the more established Showtime gets. Now, on the other hand, Showtime might think, well, you're sitting at home, I can chill, but sees 3 tanks. I mean, come on. As Showtime, you got to play safe here. And yet he's on 4 gas. He's non-stop probing. He's getting a 4th gateway and a Robo Bay. This doesn't really strike me as particularly safe play for Showtime. He sees this giant army coming forward. Good hot pick up there to dodge some of those shots. Nice play by Gumiho with the medevac micro, man. Medevac micro looking fantastic. It is just the one medevac with this push. You got to be careful in this middle area. Loses a Stalker there. 1 tank is heavily damaged. 1 battery at the 3rd. There's an Immortal there. 2nd Immortal building. So it's going to be Sentry, Immortal, Stalker. Showtime needs to get these Stalkers over to that right side, but he's got to be careful. He's got a very vulnerable Stalker up front. Another one there. And you know, oh, he already blinks it. He already blinks it. Careful. Reaper kills could be good. Anything before the fight starts could be good. Oh, get out of there, Showtime. Okay, so Showtime needs to move his Observer forward. So he's trying to move around the scan to see when these tanks move forward so he can jump on them. But look at that. He's got a great setup, does Showtime. Showtime's paused probing, and it turns out, yeah, this is the right call. He's going to siege Observers up on either side. He sees the push, and he's got to go back to probing and realize this is a macro game. Gumiho's threatening right now, but he's not got any serious oomph behind it. There's no 3rd command center started. What the heck? Guys, Gumiho's on 51 workers. He's not pulling the boys. He's not starting a 3rd command center. He's only on 3 barracks. Gumiho's like, his stim and shields aren't done yet. He's taken way too long. I really feel he needed to, the moment he saw those Stalkers, he needed to push that left side like we talked about. Because now he's taken so long to get across the map. And this is a nightmare for Gumiho. Showtime's got a big army up front. Sure, Showtime's not that far ahead on workers, but he's got a 3rd base. Look at the income differential. He's massively ahead on the income. Gumiho's trying to get home. He can't even get out of there. Gets a sentry kill at least. His first little bit of value, really, in this game. 1 Stalker, 1 sentry, 1 Observer. Let's go to Showtime's vision. Where's his... So he moved an Observer to the right because he was worried about it drop rotating. And he's just calmly macroing in the face of this. Forge, going to 6 gateways. He's going to mine the minerals open and go for a 4th base on the right side. This drop should get spotted by the Observer. And it feels to me like Showtime, very aware of the fact there's a 3rd. He doesn't realize the 3rd's still building, though. That 3rd not even being finished yet is massive for Showtime, but he seems to sense it. I think because so many tanks were committed to, but didn't get any damage done, he's like, yeah, I can go double Forge. Whatevs, dude. 8 Marine drop could cancel this 4th base because they dropped just outside of Observer range. Showtime's quick to react, and he will kill all the Marines in the medevac. 1 Observer, 1 Stalker. 2nd Stalker goes down, got blocked there. Couldn't pull it back. And can he get a 3rd one? Gumiho, not quite able to. Great trade still for Showtime. 2 Stalkers and an Observer for a full dropship, especially because he keeps his base alive. Showtime's looking pretty large and in charge. He is down slightly in army supply. His 1-1's just started. They're not ready yet. There are 2 Colossus out. No extended thermal lance ready just yet. As Showtime, if you can wait for extended thermal lance, that's pretty much necessary. Waiting for 1-1 would help, but it all depends how aggressive Gumiho is. You may be forced to fight earlier than that. Really good forward siege. Where's the Observer, guys? He has no Observers anymore, does he? He's lost both of his early Observers in this game. Gumiho's looking to open those rocks up so he can move to that right side. Oh, I like this move. Showtime did open up a slightly wider path for the rotation, but he's lost track of the army. He's coming in with a Zealot flank right now, and he's getting ready. Oh, he sees it. Okay, he does see it. The tanks are in a good position, but if those Zealots flank from the left, they'll still be very effective. Okay, Immortal Stalker, Colossus there trying to hang on. I think Showtime might just go for it. Might just go for it. He doesn't want his Zealots to go too far out in front. Gumiho's trying to bait those Zealots out right now. Zealot's going to go for the counterattack. Not a bad move. I think they'll get a good angle if they just go for this. Yeah. Good angle on the Zealots. The Zealots are just going to try and get on top, and good hot pickups here. Marine Marauder has to pull back to the reinforcements. Good fight on the front as well. Colossus come in, guys. One of the Colossus getting focused down by the looks of it. No, Gumiho didn't focus the weak Colossus, so he's not going to get any of them. The Stalkers taking out the Medivacs. Gumiho's going to tap out. He's getting overrun by Zealots at the way home as well. Gumiho, that move out just not working out. ShowTime shutting it down. What time was he moving out, guys? There's this thing where if those tanks, those sort of tank pushes get sieged up on the enemy side of the map, so hard for us to deal with. But look how early Blink was in this game, guys. Blink was done at like 4:35, and he was already moving out on the map with the Stalkers. He had a third gateway coming up, and I think Gumiho probably thought, oh, this is a 4-gate Blink. I'll just die. But it was actually a 3-gate Blink. This is the power of opening so aggressive in the early games. And this time it was 3-gate Blink, and he was just playing faster tech. Observers into Robo Bay much earlier for ShowTime. But actually, the variety in the openings, even though I make fun of ShowTime for going Blink every game, like it's been 4-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, 2-gate Blink, Robo, he's alternating the opening a little bit every time. So it's not as simple as, oh, he does the same thing every game, right? There are a lot of variations in terms of how far he's pushing his economy. That's what's making it really hard for Gumiho to read what's going on, and that's why ShowTime is now up 3-1. A massive advantage for ShowTime as we go onto Crimson Court. Up in the top right side for Big Esports, Berlin International Gaming. Gumiho, Cloud9's recent pickup. He's got to dig deep. I mean, at this point, you got to win 3 games in a row. You can't lose one. And a lot of people go, oh, well, if you can't afford a loss, you should play really safe, right? That logic only holds true if you are far better than your opponent. If you're a standard player, you're like, oh, the only way he beats me is if, like, I get surprised by some cheese. Sure. But in this case, it's kind of the opposite. Gumiho is the cheekier player. ShowTime's a little bit more solid, you could say. And I almost feel like Gumiho should just be proxying his ass off. Just go for broke. Do the same tank push, but commit with the tanks. Get in your opponent's face. Drive deep with every single push. Pull the boys. Go hard or go home. Easier said than done. But my point being, you have to be willing to make risks to win 3 games in a row. Because playing scared, playing overly safe StarCraft, not only is it not Gumiho's style, it's not a good strategy when you're far behind in a series. You need to kind of toe the line. You don't want to just completely throw the last game away and look terrible because you're taking so many risks, but just mix a few risks in. Play confidently. Almost play as if it's the start of the series, but just use the information that you've got on your opponent so far. Double gas, going to give him a bit of momentum in terms of the early production and tech. We'll slow down his economic growth, though. And this is why I think what Gumiho does off this opening is so important. Like his first pressure. If he goes 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion, sure, go for it. But you're going to need to find good damage. And in general, I'm trying to think like what I would try to do if I was in Gumiho's shoes versus ShowTime. And I'm like, man, I don't know. Because I really do feel like ShowTime's one of those Protoss players where like I would absolutely just open up videos of Maru. I'd look up every time Maru's played ShowTime, and I would just write down all the builds and I would practice them and copy them for like a week. That's if you've got time to prepare. Gumiho probably didn't prepare that much for ShowTime. So he's got to kind of use whatever tricks are already up his sleeve, whatever he's good at that he thinks can catch his opponent off guard. He's going to go second Reaper. We did see 2 Reaper into Cyclone earlier. This may be 2 Reaper into Hellion. I was about to say, there's going to be the change-up. We finally get a Phoenix opening out of ShowTime. It'd be a cool change-up, but man, his Stalker defense has looked so solid. It's one of those things where I find myself, you know, on that level going, oh, please do a different tech opening. Surprise your opponent. It's easier for me to get hung up on that internally in my own monologue when the player's opening poorly. But ShowTime's just so bloody good at it. You never look at it and go, wow, why does he stick with this opening that he sucks with? It's almost always a, damn, ShowTime's good at this opening. How is he so consistent? Depot in the back. Cyclone is building and a reactor. So 2 Reapers are out. Where's the other Reaper, guys? Just chilling. Chilling in the back of the main for some reason. So Reaper's going to run in, see if he can maybe get a probe. Bit of mining time, I mean, it's a bit of damage. 15 minerals, maybe. Twilight Council comes up. Blink will start. So guys, this is 2 Stalkers into Blink. You don't have enough gas to start your 3rd Stalker straight away. But I believe he'll start it in a second. 125 minerals, 50 gas. Instantly the Stalker starts. Yeah, this is ShowTime to a T. Just super tight build orders. And he's looking for a 2nd gateway on the front before starting that next pylon. Fair enough. Notice his probes. Always only 1 queue on the one probe in the queue on the Nexus. Always only 1. He just queues up the 2nd one when the 1st one's about to finish. That pylon goes down in the main base. Oh, he needs to start that pylon. He's distracted though, so we may get supply block, but no, even in the midst of the pressure, he defends it. The Cyclone on the low ground, so if the Stalkers chase too far, the Cyclone could have locked on. Gumiho's got his natural command center upgrading now. Widowmine, Medevac on the way. And a third gateway and a robo comes in as well as a third gas. Similar opening to last game by the looks of it so far. Where do you take a third on this map? Do we just expand towards the front as ShowTime? Or does he mine these minerals maybe? I mean, he hasn't started mining the minerals. He does just take that fourth gas. And notice how he always prioritizes his minerals over his gas. A lot of people, when they play 4 gas openings, they pull off minerals onto gas and they end up below 16 workers. Look at him. Look at the way he times this out. Goes up to 18, 19 workers. The second he gets to 19, he pulls 3 onto the gases at times. And as these next 2 probes pop out, this base is going to be oversaturated. And then you put 3 on gas just as you get to 18 or 19 workers. Look at that. He's on 15 out of 16 for like a second. Well, Gumiho wants him to be on a lower worker count than that, that's for sure. No fancy Widowmine micro, though. Single probe. We don't really care about losing a single probe here. Super worth losing a Stalker. But, oh, he doesn't even lose a Stalker. He's just going to lose. He just goes to the probe sack. And nicely done. 2 probes. Wow. ShowTime's miles ahead, guys. This is a massive opening. The Cyclone Reaper did nothing. The Medevac Mine Drop did nothing. ShowTime does not have a third base. That's his weakness with this opening. But he's got a Forge. He's got a Robo. He's got Blink. His 2 bases are full of mining. He's going to take a third base. And what do you have as Gumiho? Where's your stim time? It has not started. His second and third barracks aren't finished. And remember what I was saying? You need to find damage in the early game. Something like a 2 Reaper Cyclone opening into a Widow Mine Drop. I got to be critical of Gumiho. I think those tank pushes, like in the last game, are where it's at. You've just got to find sneakier ways to hit a little bit faster or to sneak around the Stalkers, to like move across the map, just shove through the Watchtower. He had to be a bit more dogged about it. Going back to these light harassment builds, ShowTime is a master of deflecting light, non-committal harassment. 3 gates, Robo Bay, +1, charge, non-stop probing against a Terran whose stim has just started. This is an awful position. I would feel so bad if I was in Gumiho's spot, and I'd say, look, either I'm playing kind of very slow and turtley, or I'm just pulling the boys and going for an all. I'd probably pull the boys because I'm an impatient moron. Gumiho is a smarter player than me. He's waiting with his lib right now, knowing if he sends the lib in on its own, it won't do anything. But if he waits until there's a big distraction elsewhere, then maybe it can work. Now, this is what we call a fake push, guys. It's not a real push. There's no way he actually commits to it because that army is garbage. There's a Colossus coming, an Immortal, charges on the way. There's already a pack of Stalkers. Battery's not ready, so it's not like ShowTime has a big army. But actually committing with this is a crazy move for Gumiho. Sieging here would be okay. There's no way he should be committing into that, though. And he's just going to, yeah, moves up, runs away. Notice he's forcing ShowTime to stop probing. So he does kind of scare ShowTime back a little bit, distracts him, so the lib goes in. It's not a bad bit of harassment here for a Terran who he's playing really slow. He's made the decision, guys. Remember I was saying I would probably just pull the boys and go? Well, guess what? He just got himself 2 observers. 1 flew through the army. He got 2 for 1 value deal. He scared ShowTime. He's re-sieged the lib over there. Still hasn't killed a probe just yet. Oh, ShowTime does the pro gamer thing where he does, unfortunately, let his probes go back to mine. So he loses 1 probe, but otherwise great Stalker micro. Notice he's building a 3rd command center, 4th and 5th barracks, and his worker count is now close to even with ShowTime. So he's just gone from a terrible position, but by faking a big push and ShowTime being so defensive, like if that was Hero, he might have jumped on that army in the middle, killed it, and it's game over. But against a guy like ShowTime, the fake push, these sorts of moves are very high value. And I think Gumiho, I wouldn't say he's in a great position because there's still a 3rd Colossus on the way right now, +1 weapons about to finish. This is still a good lead for ShowTime as he gets up to 8 gateways. But I'd say the supply is not as scary. Right, you've got 3 tanks for defense. You really need your medevac production to keep up because you've only got 2 medevacs and that's always weak. I like the hallucinated probes coming in, guys. Good for setting off Widow Mines. Good for just getting map control in various areas as well. Guys, did I just say 2 probes got killed? But they were both hallucinated probes? Oh, does this overlay count hallucinated probe kills as kills? Oh, that's so funny. I think it's, yeah, we'll find out when it kills. If it kills 2 of these, then we'll find out. Because one worker kill never shows up, but 2 or more do show up. 2nd Robo's on the way. 4th Nexus out front. Armory and Ghost Academy, guys. Interesting. This is really interesting because normally he goes Armory, 2nd Engineering Bay. I have no idea what the Armory is for. Unless he wants to get ship weapons upgrades. I mean, I guess he's just going to start +2. That's an option. Gumiho is one of the few players who do this. I've always been a big fan of it, actually. Just going single engineering bay upgrades. Because too many Terrans are like, I either go 2-2 or I don't upgrade at all. Whereas I've seen a lot of games where Gumiho ends up on +3 attack, +1 armor. And yeah, the bio is fragile. but the damage is the most important thing. PvT is very much like a damage firepower arms race most of the time. And he adds a second engineering bay a little bit later anyway, so he'll still go for those upgrades. Gravitic drive's on the way there, guys. The Warp Prism speed. Showtime. Chilling for now. He's got the Warp Prism in the bottom right. It's stacked full of Zealots, but look at this, guys. Cyclone turret. There was 2 Vikings over there as well. He's built 2 turrets on the left. Gumiho does not like dealing with Warp Prisms, and this is something you want to learn from. You'll see Maru and Clem just basically leave nothing at home and rely on reactively like setting their rally point to some tiny choke point between the buildings and like hold positioning SCVs to beat a Warp Prism of Zealots. That relies on insanely good calm control and multitasking, like because you're doing that while you're controlling a push. Or be like Gumiho, build turrets everywhere, leave a Cyclone at home, often leave Vikings patrolling in the dead space as well, which unfortunately he pulled away from here. Prepare to make the game easier for yourself. 71 probes up. Did break these rocks to get an easier path to the right side. Showtime looking for a 5th base. Hasn't started it yet, though. Double Robo Disruptor. Second Forge is on the way. +2 attack as well. Showtime's looking for a big push. He's up 20 army supply. He's still miles ahead. Gumiho hasn't recovered yet. He needs another 2 minutes. When his 2-2 finishes, I think he'll be good. The Zealot drop does come in. The Vikings and the Ghosts pull back. The Prism should get out of there. No, there's a Missile Turret. Missile Turrets take it out. Missile Turrets are such a good anti-air unit, guys. Stalker, Zealot, Colossus Disruptor coming forward. Widowmine does go down. These tanks are in such a good position, though. Look at their range. You can see those white dotted lines. They create a very safe space here. What can I... It's a woke Terran setup, guys. It's a very good defensive setup. Already a guy in the comments. Go! Go woke! Go broke! Anyways, Mass Zealot coming in. We've got 8 gateways up. 2 more making. +1 armor, +3 attack. Second Warp Prism building after the first one died. 6 disruptors. Do we go Blink DT? I think Blink DTs is really good on this map because you can start blinking across the minerals and stuff coming in from the sides and the back. I would like to see that transition. Showtime hasn't really shown an interest in doing it. Oh, leaving that SCV there is so big because this gives so much vision for Gumiho. Gumiho should not be allowed to have this vision, man. That's a mistake. Look, he's even going to see the Prism fly past. This is so awkward. Get rid of that SCV, man. Okay, finally gets rid of it. 12 gateways a building? Okay, our man Showtime's going to 20 gates right now, ladies and gentlemen. 2-2 upgrades, +1 ship weapons on the way. 5th command center finally building for Gumiho. Remember what I talked about leads dissipating with Showtime sometimes earlier in this series, right? He's chilling. He's building a lot of gateways. But, like, that supply advantage isn't there anymore. Remember on Site Delta, this worked out. Even though Gumiho took a really good defensive fight, because Showtime's reinforced just got him. Gumiho kind of, like, overcommitted when he needed to be, like, really careful. You got to be careful even after the first fight. Going to 23 gateways right now is Showtime. This is the modern PvT power, man. It's that reinforcing wallop of Zealots. It's so powerful. Prism tries to fly in. I think it's better to just run away with this Prism. Double drop in the top left. We'll cancel the 6th base. Easy peasy. Very nice move here for Gumibro. Almost pure Marauder. 7 Marauders and a Reaper. Easy snipe on any buildings. Canceling a Nexus, a battery, and a pylon. Just want to split your army here, Showtime. Oh gosh, Prism. Oh, the Prism went down so quickly with 3 Zealots inside. 5 more gateways coming up. It's going to be 25 gateways momentarily. Look at that main base. I've seen a lot of you players out there, guys. I cast some of your replays. I've seen a lot of people with, like, they only fit 10 gates in their main. Showtime fits at least 20. That is efficient base management, that is. That's beautiful. And he's left some paths between the buildings as well. So it's not like he's completely walling himself out from moving around his buildings. Methodical. Fusion Core, 2nd and 3rd starport on the way. Once range lib comes in, I don't really like Showtime style that much, especially not on this map. I feel like Showtime needs to do some other stuff. Marauders come back in, start killing probes. He's just kind of chilling. He starts a Stargate and a Robo, very defensive. He's kind of waiting for Gumiho to mess up. And Gumiho is moving out. Is that a mess up, though? Oh, Showtime doesn't know he's there. Showtime doesn't know he's there. Showtime has no idea. Showtime is blind right now. He doesn't have any observers in the middle of the map. Where are his observers? Guys, if you don't have observers, your disruptors just aren't as useful. Okay, he does gather up on the front. He's got a Stargate. I'd love to see him build a Void Ray and go and hunt down these Medevacs up here. Void Ray or even just a Phoenix to at least force them out of the dead space. Void Ray can actually kill a Medevac. Phoenix at least can force them though. 3rd Robo's coming up now. 2nd armor upgrade, +1 plasma shots. I mean, I love Showtime's upgrade management. He's got a giant bank as well. He's also on 26 gateways. But notice Gumiho learned his lesson from Site Delta. He's not leaving. He's not going to go fight in the open. Okay, Stalkers warping in. Zealots warping in one at a time. Ain't going to do much. And there's quite a few Stalkers coming up. He's just got to keep these Stalkers alive. Stalkers... Oh, he's going to blink on it. That's a... Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a pretty good trade for Gumiho, I think. Should be able to kill all the Stalkers. I mean, he'll get cleaned up, though. It's not the end of the world for either side, really. Relatively meaningless trades in the big picture. Showtime's probably just happy to get rid of that. Showtime should try to get rid of the Sensor Tower, but he doesn't want to get his Colossus killed by the Vikings. Look at those 8 Vikings, man. Disruptor shot, not quite landing. So many bases coming up now for Showtime. He's on an initial 5, but he's taking a 6th and a 7th. Gumiho, though, he's got a 5th base up to the left as well over here. Planetary's up right now. It has finished directing itself. Mass Zealot coming in. Oh, I don't know about this for Showtime. Yeah, I like that Showtime throws the Disruptors and gets out. He does not want to go too deep there, man. Gets a Viking or 2, which isn't too bad. Units lost tab is about 1,200 in favor of Gumiho as he builds more command centers, advanced ballistics. So we don't have any DTs. We don't really have a Stargate transition yet. And at this point, guys, Showtime desperately needs to go Storm. Storm and either Tempests or Carriers or potentially Blink DTs to do some counterattacks. I like this move. Mass Zealot on the right side. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. You got to use that positioning. This is the way to do it. He struggled to get War Prisms in the main, but just runs Zealots across and finds a fantastic trade with those Zealots. Oh, he moves in on this side, but look at that. So many libs and tanks. He can't fight on that side. He's got to keep his army moving just to keep Gumiho busy, I would say. And we've got to wonder what the next step is. Because on this map, it's a very cramped map. There aren't that many openings, and I really feel he needs to rotate his army down here and try to do what he can. But look at that. Even that tank on the high ground actually offers a nice little bit of safety, a bit of firepower there. Killing that turret's a good call. And Gumiho, like, repositions. And it's Showtime, you should just reposition around yourself, yeah. Move right, move left. He's going to get rid of the gas. Good call there. Gas does burn down. Vikings getting some shots off. But as the lib count grows, this army becomes defunct for Showtime. And he's not making Storm still, which is a drastic mistake. I've talked to you guys many times about how Storm counters Liberators to a certain extent. It's a soft counter, but it's a necessary, very supply-efficient way of improving your late game. Notice how there's only 3 ghosts right now, and they're often in the back of the army. You can't EMP in front of the army. At some point, Gumiho's going to unsiege, run forward, and take an aggressive siege, where Psystorm would have huge opportunities to wreck him. With no Psystorm, no transition, Showtime is surprisingly not showing that much depth. He's going to try and push in. He's got to pull out, though. Planetary's going to survive, I think. Planetary goes down! The blink was actually huge. Wow, Showtime gets a bunch of Viking kills as well. Should be able to cover his retreat. Actually, that was a huge move. That was a huge move. Those sort of moves are crazy, and they're hard to do on this map. They're much better on other maps, but he should keep sending Zealots on the right side. Keep trying to get a Prism in. If he can get a Prism in from this angle into the main base, that would be massive. He's going in again. Oh, he blinks forward. He blinks forward. Crazy move for Showtime. Oh, the libs, though. The libs are very dangerous, though. Disruptor shot. Oh, he gets a pretty good shot there. Could have maybe been a little bigger, though. You got to be careful. 14 Stalkers warping in, but he's low on gas. Oh, guys, Showtime is still on 4 gas. Guys, Showtime's still on 4 gas, but one of them's run out. The second one's about to run out. Showtime forgot to add gas in this game, guys. He's only on 2 gases. The nerves of this finals. He's up 3-1, 1 game from finishing it. And this style actually can work. As much as I've criticized the lack of Storm and everything, he just needs gas desperately. He's taking 1 gas. He should take like 4 gases now. He should just do it all at once because you've got so much minerals. You've got so much bases. Like, you want to do it that way. Now, don't get me wrong. He's trading really badly. But how does Gumiho ever get past this base setup? That's my question for you, ladies and gentlemen. How does he get a 6th base? No, not like this Showtime. Showtime's headbutting into the planetary. The lib bio-tank setup is so sick. The SCV's repairing on the left side. Showtime tries to throw mass balls, and he actually kills the planetary with the balls. Man, unironically unloads his balls on his opponent and actually wins the planetary kill with it, but he's going to lose so much more. The Stalker's diving on the libs. The Zealot warp-ins are crazy. 26 Zealots warping in at a time. Is it enough? There's so many libs, though. Dude, he killed like 6 libs. There's still 9. There's just so much there. The Disruptors did get out, which hats off to Showtime for that. Showtime's going to have to give up a base, rotate around, go for the counterattacks. He should absolutely be counterattacking right now. Just send this whole army into the 3rd, and he could do massive damage. He's going to recall the Disruptors. These probes are just going to run away. He'll lose a bunch of them. I don't think that's the end of the world to lose 5 or 10 probes. Yeah, that's okay. He's got to go, though. Showtime needs to show a little bit more aggressive power positionally and use his Disruptors at home to defend. But Disruptors are going for the counterattack right now. I feel like with Stalker Disruptor at home, he could defend. Losing this base is not that important as well. Getting these orbitals is huge. I actually do think this game's still very close. But Liberators... Oh, no! Gumiho, he's going to lose a few libs. Okay, only one of them actually went down. The orbitals should be going down. Oh, ShowTime doesn't get the orbitals. He lets the orbitals survive. That's a big mistake. That being said, Gumiho is so panicked he's not repairing them right now. He's coming home right now in the middle of the map. He's not repairing his orbitals. That orbital's going to burn down now in a few seconds. He's pulling everything together, though. Gumiho is up 40 army supply. That's a big problem. One orbital goes down. The other one is not burning. This is a very close game. This is the sort of scenarios where flanking storms could be big, but he doesn't have that opportunity. Dude, killing these libs would be massive right now. Tank, that one tank in the planetary is so well positioned. I gotta say, guys, if I play this map, I'm always leaving a tank there all game from now on. Oh, he's denying the purple gas and this base. ShowTime's out of money, guys. His +3 plasma shields is almost there, but ShowTime's out of money. He's gonna dive in the middle. Is this gonna work out? He throws 2 disruptor shots. Oh, but as you can see, the libs are getting crazy value. 10,000 resources lost difference here. Few zealots running the left side. Planetary defends it. Gumiho does not have that much mining. It's like 1,300 minerals a minute, but the libs are making things very difficult for ShowTime. Look at this, guys. A Reddit point liberator down there denying so much of his mining. And these are the scenarios, man, where having a few High Templar peppered around would be so amazing. Oh, Gumiho moves right through the disruptor shots. Takes a big one to the face. A big disruptor shot to the chin. Where's all the Zealot Stalker, guys? They're all going up the left side of the map, but he's a little bit slow on it. I really feel like if ShowTime was diving on this base right now, he could take advantage of these movement moments, but it looks like Gumiho is just being so dogged about not giving up. Stalkers finally regain control down here. Probes go back to mining. ShowTime still has a big double income advantage, but is this going to be enough? The Stalkers will take out the tanks, but then he's got to run with those Stalkers. If he doesn't kill the planetary, this is game over. If he doesn't kill the planetary, it's game over. But if he loses his whole army, it might be game over anyway. There's no splash damage here. He just lost like 35 zealots to kill a planetary and 2 tanks. Oh no, ShowTime trying to recall Stalkers right now. He will save most of them to go down before the recall completes. Libs are exposed in the mid-ground. If he can get on these libs, but Gumiho remembers they're there, unsieges them, moves them to the left side. Gumiho's value is off the chain. 12,000 resources more efficient right now. Gumiho does not have much mining though. He's floating his main down here to the 5th base to try and get it back up. He might be, or it's natural, he should maybe float this one down there as well. He's desperately hanging on in terms of economy. But does it matter about economy when you're at double the army supply? Nah, it doesn't, guys. I mean, how do you recover as ShowTime here? You need to be drowning him in units, but he took too long to start busting planetaries and that sort of stuff with the mass gateway. And at that point, Gumiho just had such a good setup with it. The range libs +3. They're doing 85 damage a shot. It is an insane amount of damage. And it's very, very hard to stop that, guys. Lib's gonna siege all on location there with Lib range. Caduceus Reactor really helps in the late game as well, guys. These Medevacs 100% energy regen is such a huge upgrade for Terran in the late game. It helps Terran so much in the late game of every matchup. Just having your Medevacs always have energy, and then as a result, only needing to have half of them available at any one time is huge. Oh my gosh, the Lib creep denying the southern base. ShowTime very wisely goes for a counterattack. That one tank, I don't know, what do we call that tank, guys? Thorn in the hand? An absolute butthead of a siege tank. I gotta say, finally the Stalkers blinked on him, took him out. Planetary does scare him away. ShowTime's gonna try and kind of base trade this. He's mining these gold minerals, at least that's a little bit of income as the Marine Marauder pushes in. 151 army supply of Terran. I don't know, man. If there was Storm, I might believe in the power of it. The Disruptors, I mean, there's 6 Disruptors. Disruptors are amazing. It's all about hitting him with a surprise Disruptor shot, but if he loses these Disruptors, ShowTime's dead. So ShowTime's going to try and get him in, like, the middle of the base trade. These 2 right bases are still mining. The main base is actually not taken out yet. Gumiho's leaving his production alive! This might be a huge mistake for Gumiho. ShowTime's going to start mining these minerals here because he knows he can't deal with those libs down the bottom. He clears the natural as well. He's not going to try and break the main. The libs are there. It is what it is. Disruptors are on the right side. Guys, Disruptors are on the right side. Looks like he already emptied a lot of their shots. He's going to have to throw some shots out from afar. You got to be careful here as Mr. ShowTime. You got to be careful. He can try to throw a shot, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Disruptors are coming into Marauders on the right side. The Stalker Zealot on the left trying to fight into the Arc, but that means he's fighting without the Disruptors. And he's going to try to come in from behind! The Zealots are all gone. The Stalkers are going to blink to the other side, which is not a bad idea. Unfortunately, he only hit Zealots. Probes all long-distance mining, getting caught out. If he could get on those 2 libs, dude, I mean, the supply is actually surprisingly close. More Zealots and Stalkers warping in. This is such a crazy close game right now. Because remember, Gumiho has no mining. He's stuck on 1 base. ShowTime still has mining. These Disruptors, it's all about the Disruptors, guys. He gets a Marauder and a Marine. He's got to group up with the Disruptors, though, guys. Not having his army with them scares the heck out of me. Maybe he was trying to bait him to jump on the Disruptors so the rest of the army could go in. I'd love to see these probes run and just go, like, mine from a corner base and try to build a Nexus there or something. Right now, Gumiho doesn't have mining. Gumiho, I think, is dead. Maybe? I mean, his army's still better. Let's be honest, guys. His army is still way better. It's just that income. That income, 1,600 minerals a minute. If Gumiho can make 16 zealots a minute, you're mining 55 minerals a minute. I mean, what's the difference there? Maybe Gumiho can force a draw. He's floating a factory to the corner. He's looking for the draw. He's looking for the draw. He knows if he can kill off all the economy, and there's no way, no Nexus, no probes, no Stargate, then he can force a draw by hiding buildings. Oh, run. Oh my God. Another Marauder and 3 Marines go down. But wait, the Lib Crawl. The Lib Crawl is huge. Wait, a cannon. I like that cannon though. The cannon will allow him to mine at least some of these minerals. He's going for it. ShowTime dives. ShowTime dives, guys. Oh, the Disruptor's getting clicked on, though. The Disruptors did get clicked on. Gumiho gets his army jumped on, though, and loses almost everything. Libs are going to sneak past the cannon on the right side. One cannon, not enough to defend this. Can you deny these minerals? I do not know. Observer's tracking the army. ShowTime's going to try to hunt it down. He doesn't have Disruptors with this, though. Stalkers can't do it on their own. He's trying to chase down Gumiho's force. He's got to blink away. Okay, Liberator over there does manage to win. He's got to pull his Stalkers over here and start dealing with these Libs, man. He's got to deal with these Libs as best he can. He's still got mining. Gumiho only has 1 orbital. Gumiho's dead, right? He's down to... He's at 70 army supply. He still has a ton of bio. This cannon is so huge. It keeps damaging these Libs, man. Keeps damaging these Libs little by little. ShowTime has got a new Nexus in the south. These Stalkers should just be blinking. Can't they reach this guy? Maybe Stalkers can't reach that guy. They can definitely reach that one. But the minerals are not being blocked on the top side, at least. ShowTime's going to manage his workers very nicely. The bottom side's not being denied either right now. Now the top side is being denied. Dude, what a close game. 3 Disruptors are out right now. Nexus in the south does get taken out. Bio comes in. It's very close. ShowTime has income. Gumiho hasn't had income for minutes, but he's got much better units. The 3-3 Bio, much better than the Stalker Zealot. And I really do think it's time to just blink on these Libs, man. He's going to blink on that one. Takes out one of them. He's got to pull... And just don't mine from this base. You don't need to. Gumiho has no mining in this game. So ShowTime may make things a bit more stressful for himself than he kind of needs to. He's warping in Zealots right now. Oh, he could jump on this army. This is a big Protoss force. He's up in army supply now. It may not be the better army, but with the threat of the Disruptors coming in from behind, Gumiho's got to be careful. He's got to run away. Does have to pull the Zealots back, does ShowTime. But you know what? He actually gets away for now, and he's happy to just pull back and heal up. Stalkers, I'm pretty sure can reach those Libs, guys. I could be wrong on this, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, he's going to move up. Gumiho with ranged Lib abuse. Remember, Libs lost one of their range. That Lib is super vulnerable. Gosh, ShowTime's going for it. He's going to dive. He's going to dive. I think he's going to blink forward. That would be a crazy move, but he goes for it. He gets a Marauder for a Stalker. That's a good trade for ShowTime. Any trade's a good trade for ShowTime, but right now, ShowTime, mostly long-distance mining. He's only got a few probes mining there. So he doesn't... I don't know if he knows that there's no economy for Gumiho. If he splits his Observer off, he could see this. And if he just resecures mining over here, this could be massive. He's going to get another Lib. That's huge. The Lib does take out a few probes. But ShowTime just needs to pull back and defend his economy. ShowTime is about to find out, wait, there's still no mining for you. It's dawning on him the situation he's in. ShowTime didn't know till now that Gumiho has no mining. He should send a single Zealot to scout, not his whole army. He's scouting with his whole army right now. Oh god, the Disruptor's in the open. Disruptor's in the open, guys. Disruptor's in the open. He's looking for it. Where's the rest of his ground army, though? Bit far away. Bit far away to cover. Got to be careful. The bio does stim. Caduceus Reactor looking good. Single unit does go down. Scouting with his whole army is crazy. ShowTime should not be scouting with his whole army. This Observer should be tracking the enemy. He's got to recall to that bottom right side. Otherwise, he's going to get caught out of position. There we go. He's trying to recall down there. Long distance probes getting caught out. He's down to below 20 workers now. He does try to recall, and then he does recall most of his army down to the bottom right. This Lib is in range, guys. He could go back to mining those 600, 700 minerals. Likewise, this base could be open as well. ShowTime just needs to reestablish mining on those bases. But Gumiho is being a dogged dickhead right now. I don't know how else to say it. He's just being a friggin' annoying legend. And that's exactly what you got to do. This is what StarCraft's about. Catches a few Zealots and Stalkers. And look, ShowTime's so worried about him mining. He's just not reestablishing his own mining at home. It feels like ShowTime's kind of given up on fighting these Libs. Like, the pressure of the moment is getting to him. Gumiho's all over him right now. Gumiho coming in right now. Gumiho refusing to give up. He will not go down without a fight. ShowTime inches from this championship right now. He's down in army supply again. So the trading, even though... Like, Gumiho's actually building SCVs as well, by the way. He's got 400 minerals left in his main. He's actually rebuilding his economy ever so slowly. A single Phoenix is finally building. I guess he must have had his Stargate sniped earlier in this game. Dude, a single Phoenix... this whole time would have been amazing. It's a very good choice for him to get that. But down to just 11 probes is ShowTime. So ShowTime probably should go back to rebuilding his economy. And remember, this army is just so scary. Dude, oh man. Can you guys imagine how good Storm would have been in this game? Something I'll never stop ranting about. It's such a good late game upgrade. Past the 15-minute mark, when you're maxed and floating money, it's a no-brainer. Disruptor does get dodged. Showtime. He's got to watch out. If those disruptors get caught, remember, he just loses. If those disruptors get caught, he does just lose. These guys need to get out of here as well. Run, run, run. He's going to lose a few to concussive if he's not careful. Oh, run, run, run. Blink, blink, blink. Okay, does get out of there. Loses a zealot. Another lib building. Another lib building. There's a lib down there as well. Phoenix is ready patrolling, though. So, Showtime is back up on 11 workers. He's making sentries right now. Now, that's an interesting choice. What do you guys think of sentries? I actually think Archons would be great, but he's lost his Templar archives. Okay, so I can see why he doesn't do that. The fact that there's an observer following him is massive. Gumiho sends an empty medevac to check there's no other bases. Showtime is mining 420 minerals a minute. Only 100 coming in for Gumiho. Gumiho's going to float a factory out for scouting. And Gumiho's still got the better army. Disruptor shot goes right. He knows there's an observer following him. It's worth dropping a scan for it, I do believe. Oh, he tried to flank with a disruptor from the north. That was a really clever move from Showtime. Almost caught Gumiho out. If your opponent's screen is centered on the wrong position, say they're dodging a disruptor down here, and then you come from the north, doesn't matter how good they are, they won't see the disruptor, and it will catch them. So that's part of like the tricks you do in those sort of scenarios. Oh, he gets a medevac. There's only like 6 of those left, 7 medevacs left. One of them is off scouting. Probe's being rebuilt here. It's a shame Showtime lost this base as well. The last 600 minerals or so there was actually a big difference maker. There's still a couple thousand minerals here on the base, though. Oh, man. Is it worth going like Archons or Storm at this point? I think the answer is yes. There's only one Ghost. It is maxed on energy, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. The bio's constantly kind of overstimmed. Where is the Observer, guys? Okay, he does see where the army is. Good pullback by Gumiho. Gumiho's got 2 libs. Does 2 libs beat a Phoenix, by the way? It'd be funny if it does. You can always just pull back with it, of course. Oh, gets a lib, pulls back. Disruptor shot goes forward. Disruptor's constantly out in the open, man. He's got to be careful. I guess he's got the Zealot Sentry up north. Only 1 lib here, man. Only 1 lib. Showtime. Constantly forcing stims, but that Caduceus reactor means doesn't really care. He'll always have enough. He EMPs the Observer. Huge move. Huge play there by Gumiho. He EMPs the Observer right now. Showtime 80 army supply. Gumiho on 65 army supply. Showtime finally has a big juicy army supply lead. There's only 1 lib in this game. That 1 lib is his 1 siege unit. EMPs are good. Battery overcharge is going to be pretty big here. He should be using it already. He's taking a lot of damage. There we go. Battery overcharge goes down. Nice fighting with the bio, though. Even though the cannons are helping, he doesn't get hit by any disruptor shots. The lib there, if you chase, the lib will do big damage. Gumiho, he's down 12 army supply. He's desperate. The force fields are so good. Oh, he saves them, though. Hot pickup. That hot pickup was clutch. A medevac does go down. He's still got like 6 medevacs there. The lib inching forward. Dude, almost 20 army supply lead for Showtime here. The disruptors are mostly empty. He's got to keep using guiding ship. Remember, battery overcharge is gone now. He gets the medevac. He blinks forward, gets the medevac. These force fields are clutch. Disruptor shot will get a single marauder there, but only 1. Up 10 army supply is Showtime. The Phoenix is going to come in. There's almost nothing that shoots up here. Picks off a marauder with the Phoenix. This is such a close fight. Showtime doesn't have many zealots left. It's mostly sentries right now. His army's very low. The disruptor shot could be big, but it doesn't land on anything. One of the disruptors has gone down. Showtime is in trouble right now. He's slowly getting overrun by the marauders. There's almost nothing that shoots up for the Terran. The lib does go down. 1 more disruptor shot is available. Battery overcharge round 2 comes in. Big shot lands on a marauder and a ghost, but there's no warpins left for Showtime. Gumiho! Gumiho refuses to go down and manages to do it at the 11th hour. 3 probes going down. More and more probes falling. Dude, great snipe on that disruptor there, and I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Gumiho. I mean, I knew the result. I knew the result going into this game, but still, what in the hell? That is an insane, insane game of StarCraft. Wow. Oh, man. I think the main problem was those libs. Those libs saved Gumiho so hard because it was from like 25 minutes onwards in this base trade. At this point, it's like, okay, Showtime's mining so much more minerals and you just can't seem to get through because of the disruptors. And then the libs came down and these libs like ruined him. This cannon was huge. If he had like a pylon there and a cannon here as well, I think this would have really helped out Showtime. But then the libs dancing around was actually pretty massive. If he was a bit quicker, to kind of go, you know what? This is annoying. Build a Stargate. Like, if he did that right now, this would be a completely different game. This move here was also, look at that, man. Like, there were so many moments like this in this game where he threw these disruptor shots from way too close. Look, he dives on top. And imagine if he shoots the disruptor like now. That'd be great. But instead, he moves way too close, just throws one. And Gumiho's like, oh, you're going to throw just one shot? So he clicks the disruptor, kills another one. And then he picks up and saves 8. And the disruptor kills like 5 zealots. And the stalkers don't even get any of the medevacs. And you're like, how? How in the heck Gumiho survived an absolutely death-defying situation, not mining for like 12 minutes plus, and somehow wins this game? Amazing play for Gumiho. GG, well played, keeps himself alive. Yeah, I'd heard Gumiho won a really clutch game on that map. I'd heard some of the hype about that map, so that one, I knew that he was going to win that map there. But man, what a cool way to keep yourself alive. I love seeing that fight. And even if you lose after this point, it's still one of those just impressive moments where you go, dude, that was awesome. Well done. And for ShowTime, on the other hand, remember, he was a little slow to take gases. He was a little indecisive with when to commit. It's always scary attacking to like tank planetary lib with that mass gateway style. But he did end up committing to it. But was maybe a little bit iffy on the base trades and stuff, and a little bit more careful than he needed to be against a Gumiho who just managed to survive and fight his way back with some ranged lib superpowers. Going on to Ghost River now, a pretty short map. I'd say this is a pretty good map for Terran in that regard. But once you get your 3rd and your 4th up, they kind of expand away from the Terran. So it's kind of like your early pushes on the natural, or maybe towards like tanks behind these rocks on the 3rd, are kind of scary. But after that point, the map opens up a little bit, and that, you know, there's rather wide open spaces in the middle. And those early tank pushes and whatnot are no longer quite as scary. I haven't seen anyone 3-racks this map, interestingly. But I think that's just because 3-racks is kind of out of the rotation. It's very rare in the meta right now. You'll see it. You'll more often than not see it like off a 3rd command center opening, though. And that's not really a normal 3-racks. That's just a very greedy build that then goes into 3 barracks to pump out a lot of bio. Nexus goes down after Cybercore here for ShowTime. Here's early probe, doing a bit of harassment. Double gas once again for Gumiho. He wants that early tech. And honestly, the opening sucked for Gumiho last game, guys. Let's remember that. He didn't... The Widow Mine drop killed 2 probes. He was getting no damage, really. Gumiho needs to find a better opening, in my opinion. I feel like he's playing this series on hard mode right now. You have a huge bit of psychological momentum. If Gumiho can get ahead or just, like, win the game early, that's going to be the way to play it. Don't let ShowTime, you know, just comfortably make his way to the mid game, because he's very scary in the late mid game as ShowTime with that massive amount of units he builds. He had some pretty clutch micro with the force fields and the stalker focus fires at the end, but yeah, well played by Gumiho. And it's always a little awkward fighting those battles, you know, the stalker sentry there. Oh, it's one of these things where I hate to harp on about it, but Psystorm just is the game changer. It's like in those scenarios where your opponent's running around, a flanking High Templar, catching that army, just like landing a storm in the middle is game ending, dude. Feedbacking the medevacs, you can't afford to repair those. It's pretty big, so I don't know. Just one of those things I've been harping on about over the last few years. Stargate opening! Oh, hello. Sorry, guys, I didn't even realize. A change up here. And this is a very short map, so this is not the map I expected on. I want to see Oracle. This is a tank first opening. This is a very early tank push for Gumiho. And Oracle could ruin him. If ShowTime goes Oracle, this could be a tournament-winning choice. But it's Phoenix. He's going to play Phoenix Colossus on Ghost River. Now, if he gets an early enough Immortal, he can still be fine. But I feel like probably 2 tanks with a couple of SCVs is when Gumiho pushes out. Because, yeah, he's going to have a medevac second tank. Probably picks up the 2 tanks, boosts across with his Marines. Starts trying to build bunkers out front of the base. Maybe doesn't bother with the bunkers. Maybe just the repair, as that's more common these days. But this is like a very kind of Maru-style push. I was talking about how Maru beats ShowTime. It's this sort of push always, mixing these bad boys in. An incredibly committed push, but it can work out very well. Phoenix is not scouting. That's unfortunate for ShowTime. Hiding the Phoenix is really good if your opponent goes for like a medevac drop, because then, oh, you know, in comes a Widow Mine drop and you kill it because you hit the Phoenix, and it's really good. Whereas if they know you've gone Phoenix, they'll hold it back. But in this case, where it's a fast tank push, Vikings and Marines coming behind, you really want to just scout it as quickly as possible. And ShowTime, Staying defensive could be a problem maker. He's got only one gate. Second gate does go off in the main base, which is nice. Robo, very exposed on the natural. He builds another battery. He realizes something's up. An extra battery and a pylon. So he knows. He knows there's a big push coming. Okay, his Phoenix need to target the Marines, not the siege tanks. If he can get rid of the Marine count, he could be good. But he's only on one Stalker, one Adept right now. That's a very small army. 3 Phoenix, 1 Stalker, 1 Adept. He might have to pull probes. He might have to pull probes. The tanks are sieging up. He boosts in. Gumiho at 4.5 minutes is already sieged up in the natural of ShowTime. ShowTime using some nice battery healing. He's going to pick up yet another Marine. I like that he's going after the Marines, guys, but he's going to have to pull back to the battery overcharge. Oh, battery overcharge has not gone down yet. He needs it. He needs battery overcharge right now. He hasn't used it yet, guys. Battery overcharge needs to go down right now. Battery overcharge doesn't go down. Massive mistake from ShowTime. He could have been healing his Phoenix and his Robo right now. Oh, no. He doesn't do it. The Stalker and the Adept not fighting because of that. The Stalker and the Adept plus those Phoenix, I think, could have potentially held this push with the battery overcharge in there, especially with a bit of a pro pull. Oh, damn. ShowTime getting a bit excited here, not using the battery overcharge. He had plenty of energy on the Nexus. He had plenty of energy. Phoenix going to try and pick off the reinforce wherever he can. I don't think he has enough firepower to kill a siege tank. He might think about going for it, though. It's tempting, but it's a waste of energy if you can't kill it, right? So instead, he's going for Marines, things he can confirm the kills on. New Robo building in the main base, more Phoenix being chrono boosted, trying desperately to defend. Couple of slow Zealots, just very cheap unit Zealots, very tanky against the siege tank shots as well. Phoenix almost dies there. No battery in the main. Oh, there is a battery in the main. It'd be nice if he gets back there. He's just recalled his probes from the natural to the main. He wants to cut off the reinforce, which is why he's over here. Third command center building for Gumiho. Gumiho is still putting Cyclones and Vikings at home to defend any counterattack pressure, and he'll no doubt add more barracks as he gets time. He doesn't need to push up the ramp. He can just chill. He's just like, yeah, we'll just sit here. It's fine. You'll eventually kill this, but by that point, your natural will be so late. I got a third command center on the way. I'll be good. As long as I have enough units to defend the Phoenix counterattack. He knows this is a scary moment for Gumiho. If he loses all this anti-air, he's in trouble. With the Phoenix being so bruised, I think he's okay. That red point Phoenix almost goes down. Reaper's going to rotate, go for a little scouty scout. Make sure there's no DTs or anything crazy. He even scans on the left side as the Reaper goes around the right side, and he sees no Twilight Council, no scary tech. 36 probes stuck on one base mining. Phoenix going to go for the interception on the Vikings. Gets rid of them. One of them, sorry. Loses, I think, just one Phoenix there. I think one had already died. Maybe it was a 2-for-1 trade, actually. This is looking like Gumiho has got a superior position. Second and third barracks should be going down. Not just yet. He's floating a little bit of money now. Oh, here we go. Phoenix finally finding that value. Gumiho's pushing the front right now. That's why he's not at home. Viking will go down. Nice trades here for ShowTime on the defense. I'm finding it surprising that Gumiho is still shoving, but I guess he's like, whatever, I'm ahead. Let's just keep going right here, right now. And it's working out very well. Stargate and a gas getting sniped will be huge. What are you going to do? Fight this? You need charge zealots normally to beat this sort of push, but there's no Twilight even started. ShowTime's kind of made the assessment that it's too late to go charge. But then the deeper you get down the hole, the more you wish you went for charge earlier in the game. Vikings will get shot down by the Phoenix. The Immortals going forwards. Tanks do get picked up. The Immortals second one does go down there. Phoenix trying to do what damage they can. Zealots going after those ground units. Stalkers taking out those Zealots those tanks, sorry, as they drop down. But ShowTime cannot recover his natural. And Gumiho, with a vicious push, is going to force Game 7. Well, I had to get up and walk away from my computer for a few minutes after that game. I was like, dude, no way. And we've got Amphion for Game 7 as well. I can see why everyone's been raving to me about this series. I mean, it really looked like ShowTime was pulling ahead. But Gumiho's just dug deep. He's hung in there. And now we get some map, which I think is very awkward for Protoss to defend on. Now, don't get me wrong. It's hard for Terran to straight up kill Protoss with a frontal push. But look how open this main is to drops. Then you've got this natural. Then you've got the third. And you can kind of see the spread Protoss ends up with. Now, I wondered, does ShowTime expand to the fourth and the fifth and the right side of the map? Or does he try to do like an expanding to the left? Because I've seen some people try to play Phoenix Colossus and expand down the left side. I don't really know if that's good. I'd prefer expanding to the right. I just think when you do the expansion to the right that I like, that feels more natural and more standard to me, the main base is so open to big drops. This is a bad map for tank push because there's a natural ramp and it's far back from there. So it's very hard to actually get in range of a Nexus. So I don't think a fast tank push is where it's at. I do like that Gumiho's going 1 Rex expand. No second gas, because I think his double gas openings haven't worked for him except in that last game. They've kind of consistently put him behind. If Gumiho can not be behind from the opening, or he can just kill his opponent, that could be good. That's what I said at the start of the last game. He went for the just kill him. This time it's a 1 Rex expand. Marine first, not a Reaper. Reaper's amazing on this map against Zerg, but Protoss usually builds their second pylon here to block the Reaper getting across. And we'll see if Stormgate does... Stormgate, ShowTime. You can see his clan Stormgate. Bit of a meme there. The Stormgate waiting room. Clan. Anyway, so the Marine comes out. But yeah, he's actually not building a second pylon to block this. So ShowTime is leaving that vulnerability, where if it was Reaper first, Gumiho could have punished him. Now, Gumiho goes Marine into a delayed Reaper, so he's kind of hoping to bait the units to move out across the map to pressure him, and then have the surprise Reaper come in for the scout later. Command Center builds on the high ground. Factory goes down after that. Gumiho's build order. Building SCVs. We would expect a second gas now. Yeah. Otherwise, if he doesn't do that, it would be like a 3 barracks after factory build, which is a bit of a unique one. You see it sometimes. It's the kind of Chinese style. But they even will add a second gas sometimes. Oliveira and Coffee, my favorite Chinese boys. The cutting edge of TVP timing pushes. I really think every Terran who's struggling should study those guys. Chinese TVP is where it's at. If you want a simple pre-planned timing attack that can really pay dividends, they are the players to watch. But for now, Gumiho's also always got some tricks up his sleeve. Twilight Council, back to what's been working for ShowTime's like, yeah, of course the one game I don't go Twilight. Bloody die. To be fair, the miss on battery overcharge was a big mistake. And I start to wonder if ShowTime's kind of tilting a little bit, getting thrown out of his element, because that's an uncharacteristic mistake. We don't normally see ShowTime make a mistake like that, just like missing battery overcharge. He had 2 batteries. 2 chances to cast it. Should have cast it on the second one, not the first one. So it's not like the first one fail was really a mistake. Probably just misclicked it or something like that. Thought he'd activated it and hadn't. He was microing his Phoenix really well, but missing the more important ability was big, and Delayed Reaper works out. 2 kills, not bad. Not bad, pretty damn awesome. I think not bad's a bit of an understatement. This is a 2-on-1, guys. 2-on-1's somewhat popular on this map. I believe, I think there was a Maru Hero game. There was some sort of high-profile PvT where we saw the Protoss just straight up die to it. Sorry, it's very hard to... There's a maneuver when the shades are on top. If you throw a grenade at your feet, pause, and then move at the perfect time, you can land the grenade in the middle, so the shades get bounced left, you get bounced right, and they actually don't get to land a hit on you. But it's like one of those things you need to frame... You need to time it down to the frame. So if you're not frame perfect on that timing, you're just going to screw it up. It's something where very few players could do it. Printf, one of the few players who's practiced it enough times to actually land it every single time. And it's funny because he's a Protoss cannon rusher. So not exactly the player you'd expect to pull it off, but a guy who's so technically minded and loves repetitions and speedrun type mechanics. So he'll practice it more than anybody else. But it's kind of funny because Gumiho was so far off on it in that scenario. Nerves in the finals. Would have been incredible if he did pull off the maneuver. But anyway, let's talk about the actual builds. Third Nexus looks like it wants to go down here off of a 3-gate. No, is this 2-gate? Oh, it's a 2-gate. 2-gate. He's got extra pylons around the edges, lots of stalkers. Third Nexus goes down. So pretty, like, a safer version of the 2-gate Blink Robo. Cyclone for Gumiho comes in. He's going to see the third Nexus and go, okay, all right, no worries. Let's go for the double drop. You're expanding. If I can get in there, this could be big. Oh, the Stalker's moving out. It's bad for ShowTime. ShowTime does not know about the double drop. He has no idea what he's up against. This is a very fast double drop. It's going to be a lot of Marines. 14 Marines. Oh, no. I mean, the Stalkers could get a bit of damage on the medevac. The problem is there's no battery in the main. You've only got 7 Stalkers in the depth. These guys are spread out, so they're hard to recall as well. Cyclone's going to run in the natural and kill probes. Don't end like this. Don't end like this. I don't want to see a double drop just kill all the economy. Oh, he sees the pylon and he backs off. Gumiho's being careful. Overly careful, even. He's trying to be sneaky. But now he's being spotted. He's being spotted. Oh, no. Gumiho got too sneaky. I think if he went in, he could have literally unloaded on the Stalker and been fine. But he loses a full medevac. I was saying not like this because I thought Protoss was just going to crumble and die. But now this is an awful opening for Terran. Because the third Nexus is finishing. He does at least kill the Observer. But what's he got to follow it up? A tank, 15 Marines with stim, 1 medevac, 1 Cyclone. He's going to try and poke the front, but I think if there's a battery down, ShowTime will be fine. There's no battery right now. I might feel too confident after winning that previous trade, not be expecting a follow-up push, but Gumiho is just going to set up an ambush, because it's very dangerous to move across with such a small force. Third command center goes down on location. Gumiho knows he needs to play risky to get back in this game. Building the third on location is a very good call. Oh, he unsieges at the worst time. Unlucky there for Gumiho. After killing the Observer, there's always a good chance the Stalkers run across to get vision, and they kind of run into you. Adept versus Cyclone. Well, the Adept's not... Oh, the Sentry's helping! The Sentry just killed the Adept, bro. What the hell? Stalkers do save the day. Stalkers up here. Looks like one Stalker went down. Doing pretty good focus firing these Marines. Is there a shield battery? There is. And with Immortals and shield batteries, I don't think Gumiho can really commit. I think he just sets up a siege position and tries to be annoying. He's going to get rid of the Sentry. If he doesn't get rid of the Sentry, he's screwed. And there we go. Does get rid of the Sentry, and then he immediately runs home. I love this, guys. This is... Remember what we talked about, how you can act scary like he did on Cloud Kingdom against ShowTime to try to get back in the game. That's what he's trying to do right now. But now ShowTime realizes, hey, you're trying to run away now. He doesn't, unfortunately, have charge. If he should chase. ShowTime should chase right now. Guys, his charge is about to finish. If he chased, he could have caught this army on the way home and killed it and potentially won the game. But that's ShowTime for you. A very defensive player. He's always looking how to ensure himself against defeat rather than win. Because, guys, that third command center was out there. If he chased, like, charge is done now. Even with just 4 or 5 Zealots, the Immortals, even though they're a little behind, they could have come in. The Stalkers could have blinked forward. That would have been pretty huge. Bit of an opportunity potentially missed. That being said, as long as ShowTime just goes and takes a 4th base, macros up, he's still up 5 workers. He's going up to 8 gateways. His Forge is now on the way. He's going to go double Forge. I was going to say it's kind of late for a Forge, so I don't mind that play at all. Double Forge to try and catch up on the upgrades is a good call. +1 attack's already done for Gumiho with +1 armor as well. He's got an 8 Marine drop on the right side looking for denial on the 4th base. Could be big. He's building 2 tech labs on his 4th and 5th barracks, guys. That is going to be 2 reactors and 3 tech labs. He played very Marine heavy, the Gumiho special in the earlier stages. So now he'll catch up on the Marauder production a little bit later. That's a good cancel on the 4th. ShowTime maybe almost too afraid with how he did that. But look at this now. ShowTime's really worried about this left side. I feel like this Observer is not that great for ShowTime. I think it's way more important to get early vision of armies coming down the left side. Because what is 7 Stalkers going to do? It's just a lot of... That's 14 wasted army supply if there's fighting on the right side. And even if a drop comes in, you don't have much time to react. So... Personally, I do feel like ShowTime should be probably just opening these minerals up, starting to build pylons out on that left side of the map. Just get some permanent vision there. Because right now he's incredibly blind. He's got 2 Colossus, 2 Immortals. I'd say he has the stronger ground army, unless the tanks are all nicely sieged up and they're all shooting the Colossus and the sentries down. It's a pretty big Marine count. So, look, if the Colossus land hits on the Marines, they're going to disappear. If the Marines are away from the Colossus and just fighting Zealots, the Marines are going to get really good trades. This is very much how the fight goes down decides this. It's not really one army's better than the other. Oh, he scans the Observer and just goes for pick up. This is such a risky move from Gumiho. He sieges up, but he just knows ShowTime's a bit of a defensive player, and Gumiho is playing around his opponent. But he gets spotted by a Zealot. Oh, good Zealot. That is a almost lucky Zealot there for ShowTime. He's going to set up on a bit of a patrol path here. Does that get high ground vision on that patrol path? No, I would have liked it to be like here instead. I think might be a bit nicer, but that is going to be interesting. We've got 2 more gateways coming in for ShowTime. His 1-1 upgrades are almost done. So he'll tie up the upgrades in the near future. +2 attack finally coming in. 2nd engineering bay goes down for Gumiho. 4th command center goes down as well. Gumiho putting workers on gas on that 3rd base. Gumiho's on 71 workers going to a 4th. ShowTime 67 workers already up on a 4th thinking about a 5th base. So ShowTime's worker count's not that big, but he's got a big army. He's got a good base count. Look at this tank spot. Good tank spot. I'd love to see big Zealot counterattacks. It feels to me like Gumiho, no wall off, wide open, nothing at home. He's got huge openings. Nothing defending Warp Prism either right now. This feels to me like because of ShowTime lacks vision, he doesn't realize how vulnerable Gumiho is. The Prism's going to be huge. If that Prism just like one big Zealot warping in the main, this could be massive. And I really feel like this is a scary point in the game for Gumiho, who's now going Fusion Core, 8 racks, 2-2. He's trying to transition a late game because he knows this is going long. ShowTime, only 69 workers. The Vikings preempting this. Gumiho has been so good about shutting down Prisms all series long. And I'm starting to think more and more, ShowTime should be sending his Prism around the right side and coming in with Zealots on the 3rd and in behind the natural, rather than into the main base every game. As good as the main base normally is, when a Terran player is this on point about like just leaving Vikings and turrets and Cyclones defending, I think it's a good call to do that. He's going to start breaking these rocks to let these zealots out of their cage. 5 more gateways on the way. Mass gateway again for ShowTime. So it's double Robo Disruptor into mass gateway. This is his style. But Caduceus reactors on the way. Medevac energy before Lib range. I love it, guys. I think this is so smart. This upgrade is so ridiculously good. 3 more barracks with tech labs. So that's going to be actually 2 with tech labs, 1 with a reactor. 10 gates building though. And if ShowTime doesn't wait so long this time and just shoves in, especially if he goes and mines these minerals out. If he just brings like 5 probes here, opens up a big hole in the minerals, attacking from that right side is huge because Terran doesn't really expect. He's going for it. He's going for it on the left side. He dives forward. Command center. Click the command center and run, dude. He's going to take out the Vikings instead. More of an army versus army fight there. Units lost tab. Very good for ShowTime so far in this game. He's broken these rocks. He's got to be careful. There is a marine drop on that top side, but... Oh, yeah, no supply free. Just recall some stalkers and you'll be good. I think not recalling is probably good. Gumiho knows he's being spotted. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a waste of a recall. He had zealots nearby, and of course, Gumiho is going to pull back after killing the pylon. So a little bit of a wasted recall. And what I mean is, right now, does it matter? No. But if there's another moment in the next 2 minutes where Gumiho gets you out of position, you're going to regret using that recall. So it's a small thing. 3 more commands in his building. Gumiho's trying to get to the late game. The Zealot Stalker coming in. 1 tank goes down, but only 1. Disruptor goes forward, not able to land. Couple Stalkers go down. That was a much better trade for Gumiho by the looks of it. Oh, he gets the Disruptor with the Marauder as well. Disruptor kills one of his own Zealots. You can see now 800 resource lost advantage for Gumiho. Zealot Stalker running around the backside, not really finding anything there. I still think a Prism could come in the front. Could potentially come in the front. Zealots definitely... We could attack this left side, but this row of tanks is hard to deal with, and ShowTime's in tank range. Oh, this is awkward. I don't like that army rotate for him. Takes massive tank shots. Lots of damage on those units now. 3-3s on the way for ShowTime. He's got a gateway on that right side. Oh, he could bust. He could potentially bust. This is a lot of bio on the right side of this map. ShowTime sees him out of position. ShowTime's going to go for it. He says, you've got too many units on that left side. Or that right side, I should say. Left side shouldn't have enough to defend. But the positioning is so good for Gumiho. The command center blocking up the Zealots. Dude, oh man. Like I said, like numbers-wise, it kind of made sense to take that fight because you're like, well, all your army's on the right side, but now down 4,000 resources and the units lost. And I think at this point, it's time to go to plan B. Take gases, add storm, you know, add a transition. ShowTime's been doggedly focusing on this style, but he hasn't really been able to open up a new front. And I really feel that, like, you're going to get more opportunities as he takes a fifth. I like the Prism going left, but he spotted it. Now he spotted it. You got to be careful with this Prism, man. He knows it's coming. There's already a big pack of bio and a Viking on the way. Speed Prism goes in, get it out of there, and go around and come back another day. Now, using this last victory in the last few fights, Gumiho has the bottom right side base. 5th base is up, 6th base is now up. Double Immortal building. I don't mind a couple of Immortals in the mix, but any more than 3, they just get stuck behind each other. So 3 is a good count. Lib range is now done, +2 ship weapons, 3-3 on the way for both sides. So they're very similar on upgrades. SCV runs in, Zealot will find it. And the trading, man, Gumiho totaling up very nicely. It feels like you should be able to open things up, and I really feel like bringing probes and even mining these minerals and attacking over there. Like, you've got the more mobile army. At ShowTime, open these minerals on the right, open these minerals on the left, move your army down, take the planetary. He's got to be more forward and more aggressive. If you're going to stick on this style and not transition, he's got to start taking those bases out, and I think he will. I think he will. Oh, recess turrets. I love the recess turrets, guys. The ones that are a little bit further back there, harder to deal with. Zealots get in. Prism does get a little bit of damage there. Big bio goes counterattack. Recall should be ready by now. But look at that. Zealot's going to try and charge on top. The bio is going to be pretty good. As long as he's happy to stim, and get through this base. Takes out the Nexus and runs away. Zealot's in the main base. A few more warping in. If you can get rid of the upgrades, that would be big. +3 attack just finished for both sides, though. +3 armor should be finishing as well. I don't see any upgrades getting denied on that left side. Quite a bit of bio actually goes down. Pretty good chase there. I don't think losing the Nexus is the end of the world. +3 infantry armor denied just a second from finishing. Oh, no! That's pretty rough for Gumiho. Loses both engineering bays. Luckily for him, +2 ship weapons will finish, which means, of course, he'll have that one-shot power on the EMP'd Stalkers. There are still 6 medevacs with Caduceus reactor, but the bio's heavily wounded right now. I really feel like opening these minerals here, moving down the bottom right, opening these minerals, there's a lot of opportunities for ShowTime to open up new paths, and I don't think Gumiho can deal with that. And we're seeing just even how that Prism's being so effective. Like, yeah, let's shove it now before Gumiho can siege his tanks. Let's go ShowTime. But, oh, nice tank position on the high ground. As soon as you see those tanks, you have to run. ShowTime knows. I cannot fight into tanks on that cliff because you can't get in range. There's too much like rocks and stuff here, so your stalkers can't really get on top. You could try blinking across the gap and running down, but you're going to lose a lot of units doing it. Big Zealot warping on the left, not a bad idea, trying to get into the natural, but look at that. Gumiho's already repositioned. Such good positioning for Gumiho. 22 gateways up for ShowTime. ShowTime just can't get in. He's got to rotate. He's not doing anything on this right side. He's defended by 2 tanks and a Liberator right now. He's going to be moving around Stargate. Oh, okay, he's going to go Stargate. We're going to see a Carrier or Tempest transition, guys. Remember, you do want to go Psystorm whenever you go that transition. Stats knows it. He's the best Carrier player in the world right now in this matchup, I want to say. Sure, someone disagrees with me, but I'd argue that one, man. I think Stats really understands how to play the Carrier style against Terran so well. Turrets everywhere. Going to be hard to get that Prism back in the main base, especially with the Sense Towers seeing it coming. Flies over. Liberator is there. There's a few libs set up. He's going to try and go for the Zealot Warping while attacking the front. A couple tanks go down. Zealot Charge takes out a few of them. Ooh, gets rid of a few tanks, but not enough Stalkers to get rid of those libs on the right side. But he is forcing Chaos, man. Stalkers warping in the main. They take out 1 lib on the left. They're going to take out the lib on the right as well. Oh, the Zealot Warping is huge. The power of the Warp Prism, guys. Masses of bio get pushed back. If he has Stalkers on the front, this would be big, but he's only got 4 Stalkers. Oh, imagine if he had like 10 Stalkers, he could kill so many of these Liberators. Unfortunate for ShowTime. He gets some good damage. Once the bio gets up there, they clean it up. And so let's still take out a few Marines with them. Down 5,000 resources in the units lost is ShowTime. Remember, ShowTime has been playing from behind in bank, though. This Planetary in the bottom right getting up was such a big move. Oh, my lord. Guys, look, ShowTime has an economy lead. Let's check back on that 20 seconds from now. Let's check back on that at 1750 and see what that, in quotation marks, economy lead looks like, shall we? Being up 80 versus 51 works. Remember, this is a lot of orbital command centers. He's got 6 orbitals with the 7th one finishing. Let's check back in on that income. Oh my, from 2,000 minerals a minute to 3.5, sometimes close to 4,000 minerals a minute as those mules return those trips. ShowTime is mining a lot, but it's not as much, and he's down an army supply. Stalkers blink forward, take out a Libby Lib. Disruptors come forward, get themselves a Marine. I love the quick rotation to the left. Gumiho siege, too many libs on that side. Just kill the command center. Pull left, don't fight there. Oh, ShowTime does take out a few libs, but he's got to pull back, goes a bit too deep. The Disruptors! Oh, Gumiho traces into the Disruptors. He takes some big shots. He does get a few kills, though. Now, 4,000 resources lost and the units lost. There's a new Prism on the front. I love that there's a new Prism. I'd like to see more gateways on the front as well, as the kind of like budget Warp Prisms. Finally opening up the left side here. Do we have Stargate units? He's going Dark Shrine. Guys, how good would Dark Shrine be? I don't know why no one uses Blink DTs anymore in late game. I really feel like this is like the big oversight, especially on a map like Amphion. Like this, look how hard it is for Gumiho to cover all these bases. Those 15 Blink DTs coming in, man, this base just goes, you just run in, blink on the turret, kill it, kill that base. And then you push the left at the same time. Oh, the Prism's being a nasty boy again. Notice how Gumiho's trying to like wait for him to overcommit to the Prism before he sends these guys, because he's got so many units on defense duty in the main base. He's trying to build more turrets right now. I guess they're out in the middle mostly. +2 plasma shields is on the way. ShowTime's got more of the map. Gumiho's like parts of the map mine out sooner. You just need to not be so wasteful that it's easy then for Gumiho after winning a fight to just go take another command center, take another 2 command centers. Because like that's where you run into problems where it's like, well, I have more bases, so I can trade really badly. But then you lose a fight so badly, the Terran just lands a new command center, drops 10 mules, and is like, no, I'm fine. That's where things get bad. Lib sieging on both sides as well. He's got a few libs on the left. Marines get roasted by the Colossus. How many libs is this? 17? No Psystorm? 2nd and 3rd Stargates going down now, but this feels a little late for me. I really feel like ShowTime's taken a bit too long to go for that. He still has no Storm. Remember, Storm is the counter to this army. There's no ghosts in this army at all. Without Storm, you cannot counter mass lib with just Stalkers unless you're being aggressive. Right now, he's pulling home to defend. ShowTime's instincts may be betraying him. Remember what I said. If you're attacking, force the libs to move around defensively as an awkward siege unit. It can work. But right now, Gumiho's the one who's pinning him back. Double Marauder kill. Gets himself a lib, but he will lose the Disruptor. Look at this dive for Gumiho. This game is crazy. Zealots will take out this Planetary down here, guys. Sorry, the health bar's kind of getting blocked by the Zealot health bars. It's going to go down eventually. It does take out quite a few Zealots with it. Diving into the production. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, all the production's in the main. All of the production's in the main. If you lose all your robos, you don't have Storm here as well. Man, imagine Storm. This is what I'm talking about. Having a few High Templar peppered around. It's necessary for late game PvT. It has been for a long time.
Tanks go down on that right side, though. Showtime's still doing pretty good in the base trade, but he's got to warp in more units before his production goes down. What can he do if he loses all that production? He's got a lot of gateways on the right side. He can make more zealots, but he's not taking out Terran production either. Both sides are losing all their income. Random command center on the right side of the map. We've got more gateways. A new Dark Shrine being built. I love that idea. The Dark Shrine. The new Dark Shrine could be game-winning. It could be game-winning, guys. He should warp in DTs already. Oh, he's already lost the first one. Never mind. But, dude, imagine, because, yes, there's a lot of orbitals right now. There's 5 orbitals, but if you bust this natural, you can do it. And he could bust this natural. If he was willing to shove in, he could bust it, but it would use a lot of supply. So I can understand why he doesn't push in there. But as you can see, heavily stimmed bio already healed back. The Caduceus reactor medevacs are so beastly, dude. They're massive. How many gateways we got up? 8 gateways still up. 5 more building. Dark Shrine's almost there. Oh, dude, he needs more pylons. He's trying to build more pylons right now. His Showtime. He's already built like 15 pylons in that top right side, as well as over here to make sure this doesn't go down. Range Lib! Gumiho coming in with a Spectre of Cloud Kingdom. Says, I summoned some heroes from the past, dude. Only 2 disruptors are left out. Only 2 disruptors, dude. Oh. Showtime had more disruptors. I think he could do this. Gumiho, though, I love this hold. He does only have 10 SCVs mining, so he's lost almost his entire economy. 1 or 2 disruptor shots could be game changers. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go. Liberator on the left side. Oh, he does react. Showtime's reaction's pretty good. Stalkers find this command center as well. These gateways go down. Remember, there are still gateways all down here. Do we have DTs warped in yet? No. He hasn't actually warped in any DTs yet because he's maxed out. Showtime, if he'd busted the production earlier, I would have believed, but now there's too much bio. It's too late to do this move. He ummed and ahed for so long. Now he's going to go for it. It's crazy to attack in here after letting so much bio build up. No, Showtime. If he was going to make that play, he needed to do it initially. It was too late now. I can understand why he did it, because he can't defend this army without splash damage. He's trying to make a Blink DT here. Oh no, he just got supply blocked before he could warp in DTs. He's lost so many pylons up here. He needs to build like 8 new pylons. That's Showtime's back disappearing. He's not able to even warp in Stalkers on that side because he just lost his Cybercore as well. He's trying to send Stalkers out to that side to clean up these libs. Oh man, this is very hard for Showtime to deal with. He's down 90 army supply? Guys, Gumiho is like lol mules and no other economy. I've got gas, I got nothing else. This is a ridiculous army. One of these armies is so hard for Showtime to deal with, but there's one of them at home and one of them on the offense. What in the heck? Sorry guys, looking away from the disruptor as it fires. My bad there. Stalkers are cleaning up the libs on the left side. There's just 2 Stalkers that detach from the main force. And he's gonna have to give up this base, I think. The DTs still haven't been warped in. I think he should be warping in DTs and trying to do something, but 5 orbitals, it's not really the game-winning strat he was hoping for. Probes are going down. Showtime desperate there. He's finally going to get rid of that Liberator, but all of the production and pylons going down. The units lost tab is devastating. 20,000 resource loss difference. Shadow Stride is taken out. 3 DTs did warp in at some point. Disruptors in the open. Oh, protect your balls at all times. That's the first thing they say when you step in the octagon, guys. Oh, no. Showtime wasn't listening to the referee at the start of the match, and he does forget to wear his box. Box and mouthguard, 2 most important things in any combat sports, as well as StarCraft, especially if you're a Protoss player. Terran player Gumiho on 189 army supply, guys. We've seen Zergs on this army supply. We've seen Protoss. Have we ever seen a Terran on maxed army supply? I mean, I guess there's been some late game TVZs where I've definitely seen like 170 army supply. I don't know if I've seen 191 before. This is truly special. Oh man, he's got so much. He's going to use the libs in anti-ammo to kill the Colossus. The ultimate disrespect. He's using the libs like Vikings. Gumiho has so much stuff. Recovering from down 1 win 3 losses to win 3 in a row. Oh my gosh, dude. Gumiho. Gumiho. What an absolute bro. Wins the HomeStory Cup Grand Finals against Showtime. And what a breath of fresh air this was. Seeing a few different players in there. I'm sure people out there be like, oh, it wasn't the deepest lineup. No Cyril, no Rainer, doesn't count. But hey, guys, these guys eliminated players like Clement, Hero Marine in the semifinals, a bunch of other really high-level players before that. And this was such an entertaining and fun finals. I do think, yeah, Showtime probably needs to go Psystorm. But honestly, even with his style, I think he could have won. But missing Battery Overcharge and Ghost River was pretty huge, as well as leaving the Adept and Stalker in the main. And I think on Cloud Kingdom as well, there was definitely a few little opportunities here and there where Gumiho, just with the range libs, caught him out. Took ShowTime a bit too long to realize he could go for the Stargate to deal with it, and hindsight's 2020. We're sitting here on the sidelines. These guys are playing excellent StarCraft. Hats off to Gumiho for staying so calm and collected in the midst of it, because even in these games he won, he was still losing his entire economy. Things were still very scrappy, but ShowTime just could not deal with this army, and that's really where Psystorm absolutely would have come in. I'll debate anyone in the comments who disagrees with me. I love to hear people's thoughts about it. Just be civil. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and good night.